Yeah. Should.
Yeah, we're live.
We're live. Yeah, see?
Oh my
Look at us
goodness.
go. All right. Here we are. So we're trying a little bit different deal here. Yeah, see there? Play. Does it work? There you go. There you have it.
Perfect.
Welcome back, guys. We are back. So we'll pull the chat up over here.
Yeah.
We'll try this. Locked in. Hello from Gigging Up, Western Australia. Gigging Up. Western Australia. Hello, Tracy. How are you doing tonight? So we did the live video earlier today, and we talked a little bit about how we're gonna go live. Is the sound good?
Yeah. Can you guys hear us? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and get rid of this one real quick.
The sound is good, and we are good. Then we will go. We'll let some people get on. So what we're gonna do tonight is we are going to work on a little bit of confirmation stuff. So people were kind enough to send in videos, and we can critique them as we go. Cool. Chesson says audio's good, sound is great, YouTube live feed working, perfect.
Hey.
So this is all. This is the home-based streaming setup, right? So you guys can see like we got the overlay and everything. So now you'll have us over here. We've got the chat over there. Hello from Cincinnati, Ohio. Hey, April, how are you doing? Good.
How are you getting those?
I see it over here. It's in the chat. Right there. Hi from Cincinnati, Ohio. Stream chat's always delayed.
This one's stream chat? It's on stream chat?
That's
okay.
stream chat. Yeah, that's going to be
Perfect.
up to date.
Okay. Right.
That's real current. Awesome. All right, so
Okay.
we have
We're ready.
we have a couple horses we want to go over. If you guys have questions, feel free to shout them out. We'll just have a little chat. Hey, Lynn. Awesome. Glad you like it. Good. So this should.
If you do want to send in pictures of your horse, just send them like in the LSH Live DM or message them to us, and we'll go over your horse.
Yeah. If you guys send them over to our Facebook page, you can send them over there. Instagram's a little bit harder to grab them off of, but you can certainly message us on Facebook. That'll work really well.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yeah. So this was really fun last night, so we figured we'd go live again and see how this is all going on. But the stream looks good.
Hi, buddy. Missy.
Hey, buddy. How you doing, buddy? What's going on, Chris? How you doing, man? So we had a good showmanship video today.
Yeah, that was really fun.
That was a lot of fun.
That was awesome.
That was a lot of fun. So those of you guys who don't know who we are, I'm Jeremy.
I'm Macy.
This is LSH Live. Welcome to the stream. So we do videos online, do them on Facebook. Now they should be on YouTube every time.
Yeah, they should
Supposed to be.
They
The
should.
showmanship video for you guys that are watching is up on YouTube.
It is up.
But
for some reason, I don't know what
it went
happened.
private for some reason. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
No idea.
So we do videos. We did a video, and the reason we're doing this tonight, we did a video on confirmation and bloodlines.
Yeah.
And people loved it. You guys loved it.
Yeah,
that was so much fun.
That was a lot of fun. That was really fun.
Yeah. So that was a blast. We had a really good time with that. And so we want to talk more about confirmation because we want you guys pictures of your horses.
Yeah, we do.
So
we have a lot of pictures actually.
We have a lot of pictures. I'm gonna be nice.
Yes.
But we're gonna be.
I'll pinch his leg.
Obviously, we're gonna be upfront and open, right? Like we're not gonna lie to you guys about what we see. So just gonna call it like I see it. And what I'm gonna try to do, if it looks like I might recognize the horse, like some of these are gonna be super easy to recognize. We're gonna know right away what kind of bloodline it has.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try to be like critique it a little bit. And if this is your horse, I don't have whose horses are whose.
Wants to critique of another one, message her.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I if this is your horse and I nail it, leave me a comment. Let me know.
Let us know because
Yeah.
I want to know.
I want to know how close we get. Oh no, that's not good. How come? Send them to us on LaRoche Horses Facebook.
Yeah.
That would be really good.
Can you tell Michelle to do that too if Michelle's watching?
Yeah.
Can you send it, Michelle? Can you send?
Instagram's kind of tricky to get them off of there.
Yeah.
So.
Send it to like LaRoche Horses on Facebook.
Yeah.
I think there's one on Instagram that wants to send to.
Awesome.
Do you want to start with them?
Yeah. So we'll let some people get on there.
Perfect.
Sorry, wrong pick.
Sorry, ignore that wrong pick.
They send us dirty photos. Okay, this picture's good. This is a good picture.
Yeah, it's a really good picture.
All right, cool. Yeah, if you have a profile picture of your horse, send it over.
Yeah.
We'll make a little night of it.
And then we have a video that we want to go over today too that we got on Instagram.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely. And I in fact, we should probably start there.
You want to start there?
Yeah.
Do you want me
let's
to
start
show
there.
them the video or
Cool.
do me show them the video like on my phone or
No,
Have it downloaded.
your phone. No. We're way better than that.
Okay,
We
I
got
guess
this. We're gonna be
really
showing
far
it to the.
advanced.
Yeah, this is high quality production value for you guys now.
I guess so.
We're way above showing it on your phone on the live stream. Come on.
I don't know.
Perfect. Thank
This
you,
is exciting.
Shelby.
Ooh, that was
Ooh,
pretty.
Shannon, pretty horse. Pretty horse.
Beautiful.
I like it. Michelle, got it. Awesome.
Perfect. This is so exciting.
That's a good profile right there. That's a good look. I like it.
It's a really good look.
Perfect. Better work before you brag. I know. This is the first time I've actually gone live off
It
my
better
computer.
work.
So if it doesn't work, I blame Macy.
Yeah, I think we're ready. You want to start?
All right. So let's start with a user submitted video. We got her permission to do this.
Yes.
So we will look there, find it
It
first.
was on Instagram.
It was on Instagram. Okay.
Can they like
Can you
see?
pull up DMs on there?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Right there.
Okay. So Megan, are you on?
She said she'll be watching the stream tonight.
So let's make sure. Megan Corrales, are you on before I critique your horse? Tanya, that's okay. It's not all bad. Computer Geeks is on. I know, right? Look at this. We got like all sorts of stuff going on.
This is his little element.
This is it right here.
Can they like see our screen?
They see this screen. They see the main screen. They do not
let's
see
do
it like this one.
Oh,
see?
okay. So you haven't put
Megan,
that.
awesome.
Oh, she's on. Okay,
All right,
good.
Megan. So can we start with yours? Is that okay? Do you mind? Because I think that would be a good place to start. Because this is going to be. So Megan sent us this video, and we asked her if we could use it because so many people are going to this problem.
Yeah, a lot of people.
So and if you've ever been to one of my clinics, you've seen this.
Yeah, you've seen this,
seen
for
this
sure.
look. You've absolutely seen this happen.
Yeah,
Because it's the most common thing in the world.
it is. It is.
Sister Cassie sent in a picture on my horse. Where did she send it to? Meg,
Oh,
perfect.
please do. Perfect.
Awesome. Nope. Not that one. All right. Perfect. Okay, so let's drag this over. You guys
Alright,
should
can
be
we
able to
see
see
that?
this.
There he is.
There he is. Okay,
I'll
so
make sure they can see her.
yeah, we'll make sure you guys can see this. We'll wait for the stream to catch up, and then we'll go over. We'll replay this a couple times.
Don't lock your elbows.
Okay, let's see.
All right. I don't know if they have audio from this. They might. They might have audio.
I'm looking to see if they can see her real quick.
Okay.
There
No,
he
they can't see it.
is.
Can't see it yet.
Nope.
They'll be able to in a
Do
second.
it right. So.
They should be able to.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay, you
yeah.
guys can see it. Okay.
Let me move it though, so you guys can get
Don't lock your
our big
elbows.
heads out of the way.
Don't lock your elbows.
Let me make sure this is good. Okay, let's.
So
put
this is
here.
really, really common.
Super common. Maybe I can. Oh yeah, look
There
at.
he is.
Uh oh, going the wrong way.
You are crazy.
Right.
There we go.
Alright.
Okay, so we have all been here, right? All of us at some point or another have been here.
Yes.
Let's say one horse. Yes, there is audio. Okay. Okay, so you are not alone here.
No, you
all
are
right?
not alone.
I have been here on every single one of my horses. I've been here on every single one of the clients' horses at the clinics and stuff. This is probably the most common thing that I've seen.
Yeah.
So let me, actually, I'm gonna mute this. Right. So, what you're gonna run into, this first step. So we'll let this play back. So this right here, I like this.
Yep.
This is good.
This is good, yep.
Right. So what we're doing is we've got that horse's chin straight out. Right. His mouth is open. He's gapping his mouth. His tongue is sticking out. Right. We've all been here before.
Right.
And if you're following along, you're gonna run into this.
Right.
You've seen this look before. I don't think I can actually like draw on my screen.
No, are you going down the one that you were working on?
Okay, so we're gonna take this frame by frame. I don't know if I can save that. I don't think I can. All right, so right here, we've all been here. This is where you want to start. This looks good, but right now is when you get out.
Yep, you release.
That's when you should get
Yeah.
out, right? And see how you stayed in? So like we're back and we're still back, and now he's like, wait, I should have gotten released.
Right, he's confused now.
Yeah, so he's going, well, if that's not what I'm supposed to do, right, then I've got to figure something else out. She obviously wasn't looking for me to bring my shoulders back, so now I'm going to stay, and I'm going to have to think my way out of this somehow,
Right.
right? And what is that going to be, right? Well, okay, so now he's stuck. Now we're out. But we just don't,
You gotta throw
right?
away.
So we want it there. That's better. So get out. Oh, okay, missed it. Oh, okay, stay in. Okay, now get out.
Yeah.
Okay, stay in. See what I mean? So that's what's going to happen when you're confusing about your release, right? Dark Vibes, we're going over training videos of people that they sent in. Not necessarily asking too much. I like the way you're asking. Just got to get out, right?
Yeah.
Just got to throw it back, right? That would help a ton. Okay. So having, like, I love that you take a hold. I love that you're right here, but then we got to like pitch it back.
Like once you get a step, release, pet them, and then ask again.
Yep. So it's like right here, we're taking a hold, now out. Okay, because that was a pretty back, right?
Yeah.
That was a gorgeous backup, and he like tucked his head and he was moving his shoulders, but we didn't get out, so we didn't reward him. So it's really hard for him to know what he's supposed to do now, right?
Yep.
And that's what I remember. It's one step at a time.
Yep.
It's so important to go one step at a time, because if you're going like several, like you're trying to stay in, like here he's in, now release, and like don't make it like, oh, I opened up a little bit. Pitch it way back. And then ask for some more, and then pitch it way back, and then ask for some more, and pitch it way back.
Yep.
Right? Like try not to stay in so long. Right?
Yep.
More like give, release, give, release, give, release. Remember, we want this to be as black and white as possible, right? So you're gonna lean back and come right there, and then pitch it back.
Right.
Okay? Very good. So hopefully that helps you guys, because that is probably one of the most common things that I see all the time.
Right.
All the time.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's
So,
good.
yeah, but thank you so much for sending that in. So much for sending that in, because that is super common right there.
That is really common. Well, we have to do a video on that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Charlie does it a little bit. The horse he did showmanship tonight, the video, he likes to get stuck like that.
Yeah, he definitely will. He'll definitely get stuck like
Yep.
that. Absolutely. I hope that helps. So if you guys have ever ridden your horse at home, I promise you've run into that, right? Like, I run into it all the time, and that's a great opportunity. That right there is a great opportunity to take your horse and say, like, okay, we're riding along. Okay, that's enough of that.
Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah.
We got our Twitch guys in there. Okay, hold on. We got to moderate a little bit here.
Oops. Here, I got it. I got it.
You got it?
Yep.
Ah, perfect. Good job. We got a moderator on it. Awesome. Good deal, Macy. She's on it. Okay, so
I blocked him.
good. So we have to keep that in mind, right? We're riding along, and we got to give back. We got to get out, give back to him. We can't have a lot of horses getting stuck like that, because that's a good opportunity to let your horse think his way through.
Right.
Yep. He's got to think his way through problems. He's got to get to where he doesn't react his way out, right? If you're going along and you let your horse get stuck like that and you don't give back to him, right, then you got to set it down. Right? You can't have him be like not sure where to go.
Right.
Because that's the thought process of our horse, right? We see that in what he's doing, where we're coming along and he's thinking, he's trying different things. Right?
Yep.
I like seeing horses try different things, but he's got to understand when he gets it right.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
So just bunch
Perfect.
releases and pets, and that should be a huge improvement for you.
Yeah.
That should work really well for you.
Yep. Very good. Did you delete that on your chat or everyone's chat?
I blocked it off this chat. Like I said, block user, so I'm not going to delete that.
Okay.
But
Well,
he's still not commenting, so
yeah, he's gone.
yeah, I think he's.
That's
done.
nice. Okay.
I'm
so,
sorry, guys.
that happens. So we are here. We're gonna look at this horse right here. Hopefully you guys can see my mouse on here. We'll draw a line.
I think
Very
we can
good.
see that.
Awesome.
Good.
Very good.
Can we tell the owner of the horses, or?
I don't know who owns them. I didn't save owners.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So if this is your horse, comment.
Yeah,
if
if this is your horse,
you want us to
let us know.
If not, if you want to keep it private, we totally understand. But
Yep.
if this is your horse, we'd love to know who you are. And
Yeah.
I think that's Bonnie's horse.
Oh.
Is that Raj?
Shh. It's a secret.
Oh, sorry.
It's a secret.
Okay, I'm really sorry.
We should all have big drinks right now. That's absolutely right. Okay, so what we're looking at, we were talking the other day about where we want to have these lines, be able to draw these lines on our horses. Right? So we want to look through his top line. So we're going to go like top of his hip right here. We're going to draw a straight line across right there. We want to frame our horse in. This is Raj.
This is Raj, yeah.
Yep, that's what I thought. So we are here. We're going to frame this horse in. Oops. Let me go back. Whoa. Cancel. All right, so we'll frame this horse in right here. We're going to box our horse in. So first thing we want to do, understand the box of our horse. Okay? So here's where he fits in, right? So if we take those off, we'll come back. So what I ask you guys to do is draw the line through the shoulder, the bottom line right through here. Their back, right through here, like so, right? And so we want to find the angle in our horse's body. So it's like from the point of his hip all the way down through his stifle, right? And then the point of his wither through his shoulder, right? And come through like that, all right?
Yeah.
So that's what I was talking about. So see that trapezoid right under there? That's what we were referring to around here, my wobbly line, right? Can't draw straight lines. So coming through, that's what we're talking about. So right in there, this trapezoid through here. Do you guys see that? That's what I was referring to, okay? Take some new photos. Yeah, yeah. We'll definitely do this a lot.
we'll do it a lot.
This could be
This is really fun.
like a reoccurring thing.
A nightly
Okay.
chat.
So what I had said was I want this to be 2/3 of the way through my horse, right? So if I change the color, this line right here should be 2/3 of the line under here. Okay? Oops. So right here to here. 2/3 of that line curving through his belly. Right? Do you see how this horse is kind of tight through here?
Yeah.
Not long enough. He's really short backed.
He is really short back.
Super short backed. But he's also really really short through here.
Right.
Right? So he's just kind of a compact horse.
Yep.
So we want to be careful with really compact horses like this because he's not long enough underneath to really get round, right? He's gonna have a hard time getting like the two pieces synced up,
Right.
right? Because you're bringing those two ends together, but they're just tight to begin with.
Right.
So there's not much room to come up. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep. So not much room to come up. Mallory, yeah, absolutely can.
Yeah, of
Definitely
course.
can. Okay, so that's one thing that I'm looking at, right? He's really short across the top, really short backed, but also really short underneath. Kind of hard for him to do his job, right? So if we take these lines off,
Got some more. I'm gonna quickly.
we'll do this. So when I was talking about their back end, I'm looking at the curve of their hip all the way through here, and then I want some set right here, right? I want this to curve back right through here, and then I want a little bit, like he's a little posty right here, so like follow the line of that hock down, kind of straight up and down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
If you look at some of the other horses that are really good behind, you're going to see a lower hock. So it's going to look, instead of being like right here, where this kind of comes across like that, it's not very deep.
Right.
Right? So if this horse had a little bit rounder hip, he would come down through here. His hocks would be a little closer to the ground,
Yep.
and then have more set to him, like that.
Yep.
That would be a more powerful back end.
Right.
Right? So if he was coming along, oops, lost my pen. Oh. Redo. Okay, so if this was a little bit more round, come a little bit deeper under here, he had a little bit more hip hanging off the back, and then this set right here, and then set to his hocks. A little more boomerang right
Yep.
there. That would be better, right? That would be enable him to get a little bit deeper underneath himself.
For sure. Yeah.
Right? So I think that this shorter line right here is going to cause him to be Marley Baby Goals, exactly. This is going to cause him to be a little bit tricky to round up right here.
Longer through the.
Yep. Like right in here. So there's just not enough here to really set on his back end.
Right. Yep.
Because these hocks are kind of posty. Whenever you have this hock that kind of travels straight up and down like that, you don't have much to absorb the shock.
Right. It's
Yep.
gonna be harder for him to hold the ground.
Yep, harder for him to sit down and really stay on his back end.
Yep, for sure.
Right? So then we talk about his neck. We look at his neck, this right here, 2/3 of this right here.
Right.
Okay? So I want this kind of trapezoid right here.
Yep.
Right? So I like the way his neck ties in. If anything, I'd like to see it tie in a little bit more towards the middle of his body, right? It ties in a little bit high.
Yep.
So it's and that's some of that's being halter bred, right? Ties in a little high. If you compare the point of his shoulder right here, you see where that neck starts to tie in right there,
Right.
And see the difference in where that ties in.
Right.
Okay, so his neck is naturally made to have this hook right here,
Right.
right? Well, that hook is going to work against dropping his head down.
Right. It's gonna be a little bit harder for him to drop his neck.
Yep. You can imagine if this horse didn't have quite as severe a hook, he maybe come out right here. A lot easier for him to drop his neck
Oh
down.
yeah, for sure.
Right? But you can see where if this is up like this, a lot harder for him to drop his neck because it really can only drop right there.
Right.
Right? So that is about as low as his neck could comfortably get, which is going to put us somewhere like here in this region.
Right.
Right? Any lower than that is going to be hard for him to do.
Right. Yep.
Right? Because it's just working against this line. So in order to do that, you're going to have to carry this line of his shoulder right, all the way through that way,
Right.
right? Which is probably going to end up with this horse kind of falling this way,
Right.
right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
So then if we're looking at the angle of his shoulder right through here, like this, then we're going to look at the angle of his pastern, right? Like that. Okay, so having this angle match is what we're looking for.
Yep.
Okay, and then if you can go a little further, we can't see it here, but the angle of his hoof would match that.
Right. For
Right.
sure. Yep.
So the angle of the front and the back of his pasterns is more of your shoe job, right? Making sure you have a good shoer, making sure these angles match all the way to the ground. But I want that to kind of match this angle of his shoulder.
Right.
All right. So that right there, these are your shock absorbers, right? Yeah. So I mean, obviously more suited to halter.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's going to be an outstanding halter horse.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
Because on a halter horse, I want this good half moon right here, right? Where we get this good little hook in his neck right there. I want that half moon. I want this half moon right back here.
Yeah.
And I would like to see a posterior hawk on a halter horse. That's a good line.
I was gonna. What do you mean like posterior, like one that?
So straight up and
Straight
down
up and
on a
down?
halter horse. Yep.
Why do they want posterior hawks for halter?
Just the style, what they're going for. Yeah, just the style. And where you see like where we're gonna fault him is he's gonna be in this setup anyway, at least a little bit in front of that. So you could theoretically make this horse a little bit better hawked if you pulled him forward.
Because it'd sit more like
It would
this.
rock his hocks a little bit more
Yeah.
this way,
This way. Yep.
which would straighten it up from here,
Right.
right? But the problem with that is when you pull this forward, right, you're gonna lose this.
Right.
right
You're
here,
gonna lose the
this
the-
roundness.
Yep.
Because then that hawk is gonna be, like if you figure that hawk is coming straight up right here, right, then all of this is moving forward, so his hip is actually gonna be like right there.
Right there. Oh yeah, for sure.
So you're not gonna have that big hip hanging off the back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you lose this curvature right through here when you pull that hawk forward.
Right. Yeah.
See that?
It's better to have that curve than have posterior hocks.
Yeah, so in a pleasure horse, in any horse that I'm looking to ride, if I want it to be efficient, I want this hook and I want set.
Okay.
Yep. So I want that good half moon. And the pick his front feet are set back too far. Well, see, that's what we're talking about, right? Like if you set these front feet forward a little bit more here in this area, right? Then you're going to lose, everything's going to shift that way. And everything kind of translates that way.
Right.
Right? So you lose this hip. And he doesn't have, at least in this picture, he doesn't have a big enough hip to really sacrifice much of these hocks.
Right. For sure.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, Bonnie, go ahead and tell us the breeding on this one.
Yeah. Overall, though, he's beautiful.
Beautiful horse, yep. Just probably going to be suited more for halter. And this is what we're talking about with the deep heart girth, right? So we're talking about heart girth from here to here, right?
Perfect. Thank you.
That's heart girth, okay? So this deepness, this depth right here is what causes problems for shorter legged people, right? This is a really deep hearted horse, especially if you compare it through here, right? So if you go here to here, like that, see how this horse gets a little bit angled up,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? See that kind of angle up right there?
Yep.
So we're coming along, we're following that. He's a lot thinner here than he is through here,
Right.
right? So in a halter horse, we're going to say that's a good tuck, right? I
Okay.
like seeing a good athletic tuck right there, right? But if you look at, okay, so we piece him apart a little further, we draw the line through the point of his hip. Look how these legs are just further back,
Right.
right?
Oh, they
So
are.
we're talking about trying to drive this leg up underneath of him, right under here, right? So here's our stirrup right there.
Right.
That's where that leg's got to land. Do you see how this back end is just not made to come through here?
To come through there. Oh yeah, for sure.
Right? So you think about how that horse got to rock onto his butt. We're always trying to get these horses to come this way, right? Always trying to get these horses to come up and back through their body so he can tuck this back end down and under,
Right.
right? So if you look at simply just where this is, do you see how this
Yeah,
leg
that's
is just
crazy.
set too far back?
Yeah.
So we're going to look at some pleasure horses later, and that leg is going to be under here.
Under there. Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
I actually never actually broke on a horse like this before.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So this is a son out of Kid Coolsified of an obvious conclusion. All halter, all the way back. Yep, absolutely. Very good. Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
That's
a good one.
awesome.
That's a good one to start with. So then we will go on to the next one here. So okay, so let's compare that one to this one. All right.
Oh yeah.
So now, do you see what I'm talking about when I say that leg is going to have a lot easier time coming underneath? Look how much closer that toe
Oh
is.
yeah, for sure.
Right?
Wow.
Look how this leg boomerangs back around.
Yeah.
All right. So right here, round hip, angle, set.
Yeah. Wow.
Right? It's a great example why horses don't ride. Yeah, that back end is just going to have a hard time
Yeah,
getting underneath
it's
him.
gonna have a
right?
hard
So
time.
that's a horse that I would expect to drag his hinds under behind him, right? That's a horse that I would expect to have a harder time getting his back legs driving under and
Right.
really sitting back on his back end because he's just made to have that kind of drifting out behind
Right,
him.
yeah.
And with the way his belly's made, he's going to have a hard time getting around. So always this motion for him is going to be very hard.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Yep. Oh, can't see the hocks. Oops, my bad. Ooh,
Oh, because we're in the way.
Yep, we are in the way. Let's bring you over. Let's drop you.
I should be able to see it now.
Yep.
Should be able to see it now. Yep, there you go.
Better?
Perfect.
Perfect.
Now you guys can really see this. This was crazy. This
Yep.
is crazy.
Yep. So let me find my pen. Where'd it go?
You lost your pen. That's a line.
That's my pen. That's a line. Oops.
I think it's up there. There you
All right. Okay. So here's. Oops, we're not drawing. We're in the background. That's.
go. You guys should
all
be
right.
able to see the back of the roan horse now.
Yes. Yes.
Should be all set.
All right. So
Sorry.
here we are. Perfect. Okay. So if we compare
This is
those two
crazy.
horses, right? Look at this one. How this line. Look how that leg is just so much closer right here.
Yeah, so much closer.
Right? If we bring that other horse in, we go here. We look at that. See the difference, right? There's our line right there. Look how much further away that leg is.
Yeah,
Right?
wow.
Much harder for this horse to get underneath himself if you compare it to this one,
Right.
right? And it really doesn't, I mean, it doesn't have a lot to do with the angle of the picture. It's just like this back end is just more suitable to be more efficient getting that leg underneath.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So you consider drawing here. There's my leg. Do you see how this horse is going to have a lot easier time bringing this leg under? Now, the only problem with this is this line across here. I'll make it straight. This line and this line kind of steep, right? Just like that. Never noticed you broke it down.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it's crazy. Me either.
Yep.
I have never.
So
really
this
seen
is this is how we pick out
crazy.
horses, right? This is how we pick out horses for $8,500 that go on to be outstanding horses,
Yep.
right? So it's just looking at it through a different lens, right?
Right.
It's all relative. So you got to, and that's the other thing. Like we want to talk about how we want the shorter back, we want the longer underneath, we want the hock to set down,
Right.
and you want 2/3. But that's why I stress like 2/3 and not actual distances,
Right.
because the actual distance is going to vary, right? It's all relative to the rest of your horse.
Right.
So the first thing that I look at is how is this horse balanced,
Right.
right? What is the balance of this horse going to be just on a natural? Well, look how big this area is right here
Right.
and how little this area is right here.
Yep. Just have a big hip on him.
Yep. And some of that's going to be just because this leg is closer to the camera than this leg,
Right.
right? So this shoulder is actually probably a little bigger than it is in real life.
Probably.
Okay. Or smaller here than it would be in real life. But just because he's angled off a little bit, right? But
Perfect. Thank you, Lauren.
getting your horse, just eyeballing him and saying, okay, well, we've got a big, powerful back end. We've got a little front end, right? We've got a big, strong neck right here, right? A lot of neck right there. We don't see the bulge right here so much that we're talking about. We see muscle all the way through his neck, through the base of his shoulder.
That's good.
So I like that. We've got less half moon right here. Look how much lower this neck ties in.
Yeah, it ties him much lower.
See that?
Like it's like.
Yep. So if you consider the lane that this horse's neck's got to come through, right here is the lane of our horse's neck, right there, right there. So his neck is gonna have a much easier time operating in this corridor right here,
Right.
right? And that's gonna be his top line. Yes, this is why it works at 3 days, 3 months, 3 years. Exactly.
Yep.
It's really hard to tell anywhere in the middle because they're going to be growthy, right?
Right.
We've got a couple horses that are going to be growthy, and it's really hard to tell on a 2-year-old.
Right. Yeah.
2-year-olds change so much. You're going to have like a different horse, different months.
Yeah, I mean, like when we bought Peanut, she was pretty balanced.
Yep.
And then she was just like this.
Yep. To play devil's advocate, you see really low set forward type hocks having issues. In this hawk is going to have less issues than the other one.
Yeah, because this one's it's gonna be a lot easier for this horse.
Yep. If you think about this hawk is made to absorb shock.
Yeah.
Right? Straight or triangles are the strongest shapes in nature. Right? That's why we build trusses. They're made out of triangles, right?
Right.
This is a really balanced shape. Okay? So having a good triangle in your horse is going to help him absorb shock all the way through under his body, right? So if we're asking this horse to balance up right in there, I can draw that straighter. So we're here. drive that leg underneath, straight line, right there. This is an efficient triangle right here.
It is.
Right?
For sure.
So this horse's hocks are set way in front of that.
Right.
Right? Where you would have too much problem is if we get too much weight going this way down onto that leg when it's sitting up here.
Right.
Right? And remember, like, if you guys have gotten your horses injected and you've talked about your hocks with your vet, they'll tell you that the hock is a low motion joint.
Right.
Right? Which is what people don't think about really. Like, it seems like this area of your horse's leg should be moving a lot,
Yeah, you think so.
but only when your horse is doing it wrong.
Right.
Right? Because if your horse is coming up and down out of his hocks, right, you're getting this up and down motion in your hocks. You're doing it wrong because we want our horse to take from here and swing his leg through.
Right.
All right? This doesn't have to bend, it needs to travel forward.
You shot forward, yep.
Right?
So
you
he's
need,
swinging from up top.
yep, you got to swing from up top. So you got this pendulum right here. It's going to whip through. This outside leg's going to hold the ground. These are the two legs we're talking about holding the ground underneath us right here.
Give him a little cowboy hat.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
There we go. So, see where we want this hawk to land somewhere under us right here, right? There's the triangle that we're talking about, right? So that horse getting round. How's that? You guys like that? Very welcome, Dory. Very good. So, see where we want that horse. I can't wait for the people on Facebook to see this freeze frame right here and see our little man drawing. Okay? So, we're coming through. That's what we're looking for. Right? Want that leg to swing all the way through and under.
This is a really nice horse.
Yep. This is
Do
a
you know
nice
the
horse.
breeding of this
I'm
one?
going to tell you what the breeding is on this one.
Okay.
So,
So I think I know.
I promise you it's a good bar.
Yeah.
So coming through, the only problem that good bars have, and this is why they don't jog, right? Weird intro. Exactly. So this is the only, look like horns. So
It does.
this is the only problem these good bars have. Look how long these pasterns are,
Yep.
right? Super long pasterns, long feet, right? This right here is why they don't jog well.
Okay.
Okay? Because he's got so much leg down here that he's going to hold the ground for a long time, but this is just going to flip out there,
Okay.
right? He's took a screenshot. Awesome. Yeah, go ahead and clip this if you want, guys. So that leg is going to fly and it's going to unfold all of that leg to land,
Okay.
right? So unless he's really stood up in his shoulders, right, he's got to unfold all of that pastern to land.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So all that's got to like flip out there, and that's why good bars are usually like really flippy joggers. They pick up, they're not great up front,
Okay.
right? Because they got all of this to flip out there,
Okay.
right? So if we go a little bit further, we could say we really like this horse's neck, right?
I say love.
Long over the top, short on the bottom, tapers down right here, right? If you compare right there, shorter here throat latch than it is right here. So this horse should be able, it's a little thick, but he should be able to drop in pretty well,
Right.
And because he's a little thick right here, he's going to have a little harder time. He's going to want to keep his nose out.
Okay.
Yep. And that's why those good bars usually have their head and necks slightly beyond the vertical. Because if this is thicker, if your throat latch is thicker,
That's kind of nice though. I don't like it when they're like super.
you're not going to be able to
back.
bring all of this jaw in here,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Make sense?
Yep. It's a beautiful horse though.
Very good. So I'm sure that's a good bar, and you'll find a lot of good bars are made like this. That's why the good bars are so good behind, right? This is going to be a freakishly unnatural roundness and set to your hocks, right? He was known for having just that boomerang.
That's nice though.
So that's why, like, if I was going to cross a horse that was really good up front, I'm going to add some good bar in there,
Right.
right?
Yep.
And that's why I said that. I think I was talking to somebody the other day. They said they were breeding their good bar mare to a Make 'Em Move Willie Wild.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be amazing because if you could get Make 'Em Move Willie Wild's front end, right, and then add this back end to it, I think you'd have a great horse.
That'd be awesome.
Yep.
This horse is adorable.
Yeah, very good horse. So yeah, I think I'm not sure whose horse this is, but definitely a good bar. That's a signature good bar back end,
Yep.
right? And that's how we can say, oh, it's a good bar. It's going to be good behind,
Right.
right? That's how. And most of these things that I'm talking about, guys, are going to be. That's how I can definitively tell you guys in that Bloodlines video. This is what I like about that horse. This is what I don't like about that horse.
Right.
Right. So the only thing I don't like about this horse, the good bars tend to get a little bit tubey through here. Good bar radical rotter. Brain as hard as concrete. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. So yeah, they get a little bit long, a little tubey through here, right? So whereas the other one was maybe not quite long enough, this one is maybe just a touch too long.
Okay.
Right? But these horses kind of made up for it because this hock could land all the way
Can
under
land
here.
all underneath, yeah.
Right? So
That's perfect,
even
yeah.
though he was really long underneath, he can land that hock underneath, and
Right.
you'll be fine.
Yeah, it works well.
Right? Very good. Awesome. So yeah,
They
that's
almost have to be longer underneath.
Yeah.
Because of the way their hocks are set.
Yep. And that length underneath is all of that range to gather your horse up.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Very good. Very good. A little steep shouldered, right? But then, like, that's why they don't jog well, right?
Yep.
Because that shoulder doesn't match that big, long pastern.
Okay.
Right? So this is a lot steeper than this angle right through here.
Okay.
Right? See that?
Yep.
Like this got a lot more set to it.
Yep.
So that causes a lot of problems in your jog because you want those to be balanced. If we were to pick this horse apart and say we want him to be even better, we'd have a little lower angle here, look more like this, right? And then more to match that down there. Because you want to have these all match, right? That's your shock absorber.
Right.
So those long pasterns, he's going to flip his ankles out there, but that leg's going to hold the ground a long time because it's going to
Right.
stretch that pastern out, right?
Right.
Stretch that deep digital flexor tendon right through here, right there.
So is it better for them to have longer pasterns?
Yeah, it's going to hold him a little bit slower.
I say because Peanut
But
has
he's-
longer pasterns.
He's too long.
Okay.
Yep, whoops. A bit too long.
I say because I think Peanut, like she has super long pasterns.
She's long pasterns. That's why
I
she
say,
jogs
like
deep.
I say, yeah.
Yep. Versus Marley ended up being a little bit more upright. There wasn't enough to absorb the shock, right? So if you can imagine that leg is slamming down like this, right? Instead of hit, flex,
So
right?
you kind
That's
of
what the
want like an
pasterns do
in
for you.
between.
That's what that 45-degree angle to your pastern lets that leg flex into it like this,
Okay.
right? And that's your shock absorber.
Right.
So you got to be able to flex into those pasterns. So when we talk about holding the ground, really what we're talking about is getting this horse to where he'll relax in these pasterns.
Right.
Because that pastern, in order to hold the ground under here, right? So if he was loping, let's say right lead, right? In order to hold the ground with this outside front under here, that leg is going to be stretched like this,
Oh yeah, for sure.
right? So then his ankle is going to be bent like that as that hoof holds the ground out here,
Right.
right? If you can imagine, that's his leg.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So as he brings that leg under, as he travels, see that pulls more through here, that deep digital, right?
Right.
So he's got to flex more into that pastern and really sit down in order to hold the ground as he lopes off. So he's
Right.
going to lope, unfold those long ankles.
Looks like you're petting
Right?
it.
Very good. Awesome. So yeah,
So
good bar
it's
horses.
good. It's better to have pasterns like that.
Maybe not quite as much pastern, right? If you could take off just a little bit, then they'd be better up jogger too.
Okay.
Yep. Very good. Awesome.
Perfect.
Let's
Thank
move on to the
you.
next one. Where are
Let's do that one
So
right there.
where did all the rest of them go?
I think you have them in a different folder.
Oh.
Yeah, they're right there. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Let's do that
Right.
one.
This one?
Yeah.
I need the other picture of them. Here we go. It's a very big, pretty horse
This
right
is
here.
Beautiful.
Yep. Real big, pretty horse. We'll move him over so you guys can see it.
Set yours in, Jasmine. Perfect.
Awesome. Okay, so we see a lot of the same type of horse, right? Whoops. Right here.
I'll do a vote just a little more.
Oh, yep.
There you go. That
That-
should be perfect.
All right. So let's do an eyeball of this horse, right? What do we have here? We got a lot of horse up here,
Yep.
right? If we divide our horse in half, do we have more horse in the front half of this or the back half of this? Where do you think the mass of our horse is, right? Do you see how this big old shoulder, right? And he's got a pretty hip, but relative to this shoulder,
Right.
right? So relative to his shoulder, he doesn't have a big hip.
Right.
Right? So think about that when you're picking out horses. It's all relative. So if you cut him in half and you say, well, is there more horse up here or more horse back here? Right? So I look at this horse. It's tricky with the white, right? Look how much the white throws you off.
Yeah.
It's hard to see his lines, right? But if you have more mass up here than you have back here, we got to balance this horse out if we want him to be ideal,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we come around here, I like the slope of his hip right through here, but then we get a little flat through there.
Yep.
Right? A little flat from here to here. This section right in here. A little bit steep.
Well, a little more like curvy.
I would love to see more curve under, right?
Yep.
Which would give us more hook back here, and then more set down here.
Do you think if you set him up, look like?
You could rock this horse back,
Yep.
right? You could certainly rock him back to give the illusion of more hook, right? How'd the cookies
Oh,
turn
I
out?
have one right here.
She's got a cookie right
I
here.
have one right here. It turned out really good. I actually forgot to eat it because we've been busy.
Yeah, yep.
But
So-
we ate them last night. And they
So
were
if you had a
delicious.
little bit more rock back, right? But if you rock him back further, and it's hard to tell with his tail right here, you're going to destroy that line of his hocks,
Right.
right? So if he did have this hook right here and you rocked him back more to give him more hip hanging out back there,
Right.
you're going to rock him over his hocks more,
Right. Yep.
right? You're going to end up getting him a little bit messed up behind.
So is it better to have a bigger shoulder or a bigger hip on a horse?
Well, do you want your horse to be rear wheel drive or front wheel drive? Rear wheel, right? We always want these horses to rock back up here, right?
Sure.
So these horses need to be rear wheel drive. I would love to see a horse that's much bigger hipped than shouldered.
Okay. But I feel like the people like the horses that have bigger shoulders. I feel like they're really good up front.
Yeah, they're usually going to hold themselves up.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, ideally, your horse is balanced, and that's really what we're going for, right? Is balance front to back. I'd love to see this be just as big as this, right? So if we pick him apart a little bit further, we draw a line across our top, we draw a line across our bottom, right? How does that look? We'll do our little trapezoid here, out there somewhere, around here, back up. Pretty decent, right?
Yeah, it's really good.
Pretty decent. I like the way he's really balanced right there. Very good top to bottom,
Yeah, for sure.
right? All the way through, back, whoops, back, up, and through. Really balanced horse.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And we'll go a little bit better. Under, over.
There you go.
Good. So there's a trapezoid of our horse. That's what we're looking at, right?
Yeah, he's really balanced.
And if you take it out a little bit further even, if you go a little bit bigger picture and you go across his top line to the point of his shoulder right up in there, and then you go out here and then back, across, and then up and over, right? Pretty balanced horse.
Yeah, super balanced
Right?
horse.
Really like the way that this horse kind of has his parts and pieces right there, right? Legs look good and straight. Oops, don't need that. Legs look pretty straight in this setup. Like that's a pretty good setup for him,
Yeah.
right? So we've got a really nice horse here, right?
Yeah, this is really nice.
I would say this is a balanced. He's probably a little bit more on the halter side of things, but pretty balanced. He should be able to move too. So if anything, neck ties in again a little bit high. He's pretty short under here, pretty long over the top. Really like him right there.
Yeah, he's really
Good
pretty
right there.
necked.
Very pretty necked, but probably more halter style, right? Because if he was a little bit more pleasury, I'd like to see that neck come in down here,
Okay.
right? Because we have that big hook, like it just ties in, like it's made to be right here. But that could make him a really pretty like eck horse,
Yeah, so he's
right?
gorgeous.
Because he could be really like up and scopy
Right.
through the bridle,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
But this is probably where this horse is most naturally made,
Yep.
right? Where he's gonna be most natural, just because they got this good half moon, and you want to see a little bit more hip for a good halter horse.
Okay.
Yep. But that half moon right there, that little sickle neck, kind of hooks up and over.
Yep.
Love seeing that halter.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
Yep. Very good.
Really pretty.
Nice horse. I don't know whose horse this is, if she's in the chat or not, but
yeah, it's a comment you
pretty nice horse. Yep. Pretty
Really
nice
nice
horse.
horse. It's gorgeous.
Probably a little more haltery, right? Probably going to struggle really dropping his neck down and carrying a bridle right there. Yep. Ah, perfect. Who we got? Let's do
Do that one.
let's do this one.
Ooh, Palomino. Pretty.
Blonde horse. All right, so let's get started here. We'll start drawing some lines. So let's, first things first, we're learning to look at horses. We're going to look at balance. Now, horse heads off to the side, which makes it a little bit harder. It's not quite set up, so we're going to have to give it a little bit of leeway. But we could look at this horse and say that it's pretty well balanced,
I say it's really
front
well-balanced.
to
Yeah.
back, right? Remember that this hip is facing off a little bit, so it's a little bit like that hip is kind of sheared
Yep,
off
shoot
that
up
way.
that way. Yep.
So it's a little bit harder to tell. You can imagine if this leg was brought underneath of it a little more, you'd have a better view of this
Yeah,
hip,
of that hip,
right?
yep.
Because its back legs are kind of facing us this way, and its front legs are facing straight that way,
Right.
right? So
Yep.
these are the things that I'm looking at when I see horses go, right? So if you guys ever wonder how I could watch your videos and tell if your horse is doing what it's supposed to do and where you're losing it, you got to be able to look at its spine, right? So we can see its spine is bent here, and this back end is facing like up here,
Right.
and its shoulders facing straight ahead.
This is your goober.
Yep.
Aw.
Very good. So, looking at it, pretty well balanced. I like the way its body ties in right here. Cross here, go this way. Down, up, over, down, through.
Perfect.
Okay.
It's
So
really well balanced.
yep, and again, really hard to tell from the picture, right? So this angle is going to change a lot when that hip gets straightened out,
Right.
right? This is, if you look, you've got ribs poking out right here. Do you see
Right.
that?
Yeah, because his body's turned, so his ribs are poking out right here.
So imagine a lot of people with a horse like this. People's horses ride like this.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
So if you had this horse, this is that hook that we're talking about. If you pushed your hip over, would it fix it?
No.
If you pushed your hip towards us,
towards
right?
us, yeah, towards
would
us.
that fix the problem? No.
No, I see.
Fix the
side
problem by
pass right
fixing
here.
this
Yeah.
right here. This is that rib control video, right?
Yep.
So if this horse was ever in this position, if I was watching you ride and I saw this big hangout right here, then I'm going to tell you, you got a bunch of ribs hanging out right
And you'll
here.
be able to feel that, like with your spur or your leg.
Yep. You got to push those ribs right there.
Yeah, push them.
Push them
line.
that way. Get them over there. That's going to bring this hip back over where it belongs.
You can, Lisa, you can send a picture to LaRoche Show Horses.
Yep.
On Facebook,
Yep, send it to us on Facebook. That'd be great.
and then we'll do that.
We've got a
lot-
bunch to get to, yeah.
We have a lot coming in, so if we don't get to you guys tonight, we'll do
We'll
it
do more
tomorrow
of these.
night.
Yep.
We'll do it again.
So we want to bring that hip over by pushing this rib out,
Right.
right? Don't get to where you're bringing, I feel a little bit like Monday Night Football, right?
I know.
We're drawing lines. So coming
We need
across
our
here.
like our little headsets.
Da-na-na-na. So this is where a lot of people go wrong. Instead of identifying where's the biggest problem, we'd go, well, my hip needs to come over. If your hip came over and you still had this bulging out right here, you'd be in big trouble.
Right,
Right?
for sure.
So that's interesting, right? Looking at your horse, where is its body? Where should it be, right? But so we can see a little bit of set right there. I like how this hawk kind of loops around right there,
Yeah.
right? He's not set up, so it's hard to judge these hawks.
Right.
They look a little posty right here. I mean, obviously your dream hawk would sit a little bit more this way,
Yep.
right? But these look, if you look at this one right here,
So that one looks good.
it's got just a little bit of set to it, so I like that.
Yep.
Right? And having your horse set square is important, and it's always hard to tell from a picture, but higher in the withers, I like that.
Yeah, I do like that.
Right? I don't know if I have a different one of this one per se. I don't. Is this the same horse? Is this the same horse?
I think so. Same white feet and everything.
Looks like it, yeah.
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 I think
Okay.
so. Yeah.
Okay, we'll do this then. Okay, so we can see kind of the same things I was talking about, right? Let me move this over just a little bit. Okay. So there's what I was saying, where the withers are higher than our hip. I like that, right? You come across here, line through its withers. Wither ends up sitting just a bit above this hip, right? I like that. This horse is kind of made to travel up here,
Which is nice.
which is nice, right? Made to travel up like that. Now he's a little flat through here,
Yep.
right? Like to see a bit more tuck,
Yep.
right? Again, hard to tell because his hocks are out behind him, right? But we can still see that decent curvature right there.
Yep.
Okay. But again, he's sitting a little bit wide. Awesome. Cool. So yeah, we've I sent them to you.
Perfect. Thank you guys.
Okay. So neck ties in a bit high, right? And then we've got a little bit too much under there, right? So that neck is tying in through
I
here.
got 'em all.
So you can see where that horse just got a lot above that midline, right?
Yep.
That neck ties in just a little too high for me right through there, right? So this is probably a bit more natural position for this horse, is having that head a little bit higher.
Yep.
Right? But I do like how he tapers down really nice.
I do too. It's like a perfectly like
Yep.
taper down. I like.
Yep, I do like that. And again, we see a little bit better angle to these pasterns
Yeah, I see.
than the good bar,
nice.
right?
Yep.
So nowhere near as long as the pasterns on the other good bar. The good bar is like that long.
Yep.
Right? Yep, very good. If anything, we can see where I think this horse would have a little bit harder time keeping that leg underneath of him, because this sits a little bit behind that foot.
Yep.
Right? At least from this picture, that foot kind of sits out in front of right there.
Right.
Right? So I feel like when this horse brings his leg back underneath of him to hold the ground, that's going to be a really steep bend. Do you see that?
What do you
Like
mean?
we're going to put a lot of pressure right here. I would feel like if you had this horse up underneath himself, he maybe would unlock his knee. He would get a little bit wobbly in his front legs.
Okay.
Do you see how we have a little bit right there
Oh, yep.
in that leg?
Yep.
I feel like if you really brought that horse's front legs underneath him, he would really stretch that leg.
Yep.
Might be kind of hard for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's
Very
really
good.
pretty though.
Super pretty. I love blonde horses.
Paddles, yeah.
I say that. I like the way they look. most every Palomino I've ever had or worked with has been really tough-minded.
No.
You start breeding for color. That's what happens. Start breeding for color.
I think they're gorgeous.
Yep.
I think they're so pretty.
Good. In terms of halter, like how you're gonna perform in halter, a little tubey through the middle. All right, what do I got? Whoops. So a little tubey through here gets a little bit flat, right? I'd like to see a little deeper heart girth and a little better tuck through here.
So how do you help that?
He's got to get round, right?
Okay.
So using this bottom line, he's got to get a lot stronger underneath there.
How do you
Right.
do that?
Well, that's just getting him round, right? That's all this.
Okay.
So, and again, going to be harder for this horse because he's kind of long through there. Kind of the same problem the other horse had where that back leg just sits out behind there. You see that? That back leg just kind of sits back out that way.
Right.
Right? All of that coming out here. To bring that leg underneath, that's going to be a big move for him, especially to land it up there. This is a son of last detail? Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. Kind of jumpery, right? Yep. That up look, that's kind of jumpery.
So he's
Right.
really pretty.
If we look at,
I don't know who Lassie is.
so let's
Singapore
see.
Showmanship Machine. Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
He's gorgeous. Oh yes, kind of like the
Okay.
same neck as
So
him.
let's show you how much breeding works, right?
Wow, looks just like him. Perfect. Jeff, I think I should have your picture.
Okay, this is his dad. Do you guys see it?
Like almost like identical.
Do you see it? Right? See what I'm saying? Like that's bloodlines at work.
Can I
Right?
see it? Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be able to see that. So right here, we see through the middle, almost the exact same middle, right? That back end, a little bit set to his hocks.
So it's hard for him to get underneath himself.
Bingo. Yep, I can absolutely see that.
Same hip and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And like shoulders.
Yep, absolutely.
Same back end.
Very good. Very good.
Wow, that's crazy.
Okay, so if you guys are ever wondering how much breeding plays into this, right? See, like last detail, his neck ties in a little bit lower,
Yep.
right?
It's a
A little
touch.
bit lower, but like they both have that kind of scopy,
Like same
hooky
shoulders
neck.
too.
Yep, same exact, almost identical
Yeah.
angle to their shoulder, right? But look at last detail, right? Like we got the same kind of like that leg. It's gonna get a little wobbly when you ask them to start standing on it, right? See that little bend right in there.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep,
That's really cool though.
very good.
That's awesome.
Nice horse.
Well, thank you, April.
Yeah, so that horse gonna just, and like I want people to understand, a lot of the times we're talking about like getting these horses really round and getting him up underneath himself. It's just gonna be harder for this horse, right? Form to function. So you're gonna help this horse try to get as underneath himself as he can, but just know it's never going to look like Peanut,
Right.
right? It's never gonna look like that. He's
Well,
learning to jump.
They're just
That's
so,
awesome.
They're just so different.
Very good. Do you wanna wipe out that bot too?
Yep.
Thank you. All right, so it's just not gonna look like that, unfortunately. Okay, so it's just something you're up against.
Well, they're just bred different.
Yep, just is what it is. It's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It just is what it is. Okay, very good.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Whoops,
Aw.
wrong one.
That's so cute.
Little spotted pony here. Very good. All right. You can send them to LaRoche Horses on Facebook.
Yep.
Yep, send them over to us. Yeah, if you want to type in the chat. I mean, I guess they're on Facebook. They can find us, right?
Yep.
Obviously found it somewhere, right?
I don't know if you can pin comments like you can. You can't pin comments.
No, not that.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So let's take a look at this one. Where are we? We are balanced,
Yes.
right? Fairly balanced. Don't have too much hanging out in any one direction, right?
Perfect.
That's too
thank
awesome.
You.
So this horse kind of violates that 2/3 rule when we talk about his neck. See how long underneath?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you think about it,
You're welcome,
he's
April.
you're very welcome, April.
Thank you for sending your horse in.
Yeah. So I do like where it ties in.
Yeah, it ties in really nice.
Ties in a lot lower than the last one we saw, right?
Yep.
So we said like that Palomino, that last detail, they got that scopy neck,
Yep.
right? That's that jumper look, right? I think that was said earlier.
Tis the mule.
Tis
no.
the mule. No. So we said earlier, like they had that jumpery look,
Yep.
right? Like that last detail looks like it could come out of a jump like that,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
right?
Yeah.
But this one, neck ties in a lot lower. So this
Yep.
horse can have a lot easier time getting its neck down. If you look at how uncomfortable it would be for this horse to pick his neck up past that line,
Right.
right? Because of where that ties in,
Right.
you know? So this horse should have a lot easier time holding his neck down. That's literally what we're talking about, where that neck ties in a lot closer to that
Right.
midline.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I like how he's made behind, like comes in and sits
Yeah.
down underneath the
So
bone.
good round hip right here. Like that. Got a good set to it. That's almost like, that's a very natural curve to his butt.
Yep.
Natural curve right here. Natural hook to his hop.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
That's really nice.
Yep. Very nice. Very, very good. So this horse should be pretty decent behind. He's got a lot of muscle back there. Decent shock absorber here. Good set to his hock.
Yeah,
That leg
for
should
sure.
be made to come up underneath himself pretty well. So let's draw that line right here. That's where we're at.
Yep.
Right? That looks like pretty back end.
Yeah, it does. It's
Right?
really nice back
You can
end.
imagine where that toe's got to land. She's going to be sitting right through here. Right? That could we see this leg landing somewhere up here? If that swung directly
Yeah, I
from
think
his
so.
hip.
Yeah.
That looks pretty natural.
Yeah, it does look natural.
Right? If you think about the angle of that, that looks pretty natural.
Right. Yep.
Right? So this back end shouldn't have too much trouble getting underneath of us. Right?
Yep, I agree.
Very good.
It's really nice behind.
Very good. And you can kind of see just that.
Yep.
Right? See how that all of this kind of hooks in. We're going to be sitting. It's just kind of made to make that curve.
Yep, right underneath the bus.
Yep. It's made to make that curve. So we can imagine we want our horse to be round, right? There's
Yep.
round.
Yep, for sure.
Okay. We want our horse to be the little teepee. Here's the ground. We want to come up through here.
Oh,
Front
Phil keeps
leg.
saying it's the mule.
No.
No,
It's not a mule.
adorable.
Chunk. Remember Chunk? He's hilarious. Chunk's so funny. So coming through here, that's what we're going for. Good angle. Good angle to his front foot. Matches our shoulder pretty well.
Yeah, for
Only
sure.
place that I'm really going to hit this horse, like I like how long he is under here. Pretty good over here. Maybe a touch long. Could stand to see him be a little shorter over the top. Right? But the biggest area that this horse is going to struggle is just in his neck.
His neck, yep.
Right? It's made to come down, but having it be long, he's just going to have a little bit, like if you imagine that most of the weight in your horse is way out here,
Right.
right? That longer neck on the bottom, he's going to have a hard time coming in.
Yeah, coming here. Especially for like patterns and stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
Being around under there and just coming in and tucking all of this is going to be a little bit harder for him.
Right.
Yep. But overall, pretty balanced horse. I like his back end. I like his front end. Pretty balanced if we piece him apart. Nice horse.
Yeah, super nice horse.
Nice horse. I don't know what I did. I broke it.
I don't either.
Well, hopefully it still works. Maybe we can control Z our way out of that. No. Okay.
Thank you for sending this horse in.
Yes,
Super
thank you very
cute.
much. Very cute horse. And Chestnut, you did really well, right? Like you had a good year with this one. Not this one. This one. If I remember correctly. Let me... well, anyway. Call her the mule because she's a little hard to negotiate sometimes. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. Well, she is spotted. That'll do it. Awesome. Very
Aw,
good.
Thank you.
Okay. Who's next?
Let's do that one.
Yeah, we can do this one. Spot on with the neck. Loves a hanger neck. Keeps it down real easy. Right on with the hind end. Very sweeps. Comes up very deep underneath. She's an epic little hunter trial with a road gate for driving. That's
That's
it right there.
awesome.
See?
Yay.
That's what I'm talking about, guys. You can tell right from the picture. You can tell from standing there form to function. Awesome. So, let's see what we have here.
Okay.
All right. So what do we think? Right off the bat. Let's make a statement. Let's say balanced. I got more horse
On the front end, right?
in the front.
Yep.
I got more horse in the front. So you think about this horse's body, whether he's got how much horse is in front of this line, how much is behind this line, right? We got a lot of horse out here. We got a little bit of horse back here. Okay?
Yep.
So we just have more horse hanging out on this half than we do back here. Right? Which tells us this horse is probably going to pull himself along a little easier right here.
Yep.
Right? And we can kind of see that with the way he's muscled, right? Like say we don't have much hip back here.
Yeah, and he's really
Right.
straight.
Super straight, right?
right here.
Very straight up and down right there, right? And then look at how pointy this is. Just kind of flop right off a cliff right there, right? Just dives right off. We're just missing some horse back here,
Yep.
right? So this line doesn't have much like oomph to it.
So he's probably be better up front than behind,
Yep.
for sure.
Yep.
Because
Just
he
kind of
has a big shoulder up front.
yeah. He's got a really big shoulder. And he's got a really pretty line to his shoulder,
Yeah.
right? So you think about this line right here. You're very welcome, Fiona. So right here,
You're welcome.
a decent line to this, right? I like the way this kind of hooks out here.
Yeah,
I like
think
the way this
I
hooks
love
out
how
here.
he's made like
Yep.
The middle of front.
From here forward.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
Yep. From here forward, pretty cute.
Do you think if you just did like a lot of muscling on his back end, you think that would help a lot? Or is that just kind of how he's made?
Nope. Because you've got this, right, super posty, and then you've got not much curve right there.
Okay.
Right? Remember, our prettier hocks just come in, that leg ties under closer, right? So this horse is just not made to be up here. Right? That leg is just made to go right about there.
Okay.
Right? Straight up and down out of this hip right here. This is where this leg is made to live.
Okay.
Right? So to make that leg come and be like this region, you can imagine you just have a lot further way to go.
Right.
Right? A lot harder to get under there for this leg. You're very welcome, Chesney. Thanks for sending the picture in.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So you can just see where this leg's gonna have a harder time getting like up here in this area versus back here.
Right, for sure.
It's just made to live back there, right? But short across the top, long across the bottom. Don't hate that at all. Draw this line across here. Come back to the point of the, too far. Back to the point of the hip. Oh, I lost it. So here to here. To here. Through the shoulder. Back to the top.
Yep.
Okay, so just like that.
That's
and you can
perfect.
see where we've got decent angle. We could probably fix that a little bit. We could say, come on here somewhere. Back up to there.
Do you like where his neck ties in?
It's not terrible.
I don't mind it. I
No,
like it.
not terrible. But you can see, like, even when you draw this trapezoid this way, look at if you drew this line straight down, right? Look how this horse is kind of like, if you take this straight down, there's your cinch line, right? Your midline.
Yep.
You come straight down from here. Do you see how much more there is up here?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
If you just
for
look
sure.
at how much horse exists in the picture, right?
Right.
From there to there, there's just a lot more horse up here.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
I love how he's made from like the front.
Yep. So I would say that this horse is gonna like hang his head out there, kind of cute, right? So he's gonna just kind of hang out there,
Yep.
and he's gonna be decent up front. He's got good set to his pasterns,
Yep.
right? Decent set to his shoulder, but this back end is just gonna have a hard time getting underneath
Yep.
himself.
Just gonna have a lot more work back there.
Yep. Just a lot more work to do back there.
Cute horse though.
Cute horse, absolutely. But yeah, just lacking that hip and then just really posty hocked.
Yep.
Yep.
Is that usually just like the dad was like that or the mom was like that?
Yeah, it's all breeding,
Yep.
right? It's all breeding. And then the other piece of this that we didn't get to see on the other horses, and it could just be the way he's standing, but I have a feeling it's not. This sits kind of high,
Okay.
right? Like if you think about where this is coming right through here, this is just a little too high. Like there's the point of a stifle, right?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like if this is the point of a stifle right through here, this leg just is like kind of kicked up like that.
Yep.
Which is going to pitch that horse kind of down in his front end,
Okay.
right? Because everything's going to kind of like come up and then it's going to go that way.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cute though.
Very good.
Thank you.
Hey, from sunny Southland, New Zealand, you guys are truly
look at
awesome.
you.
Give me up the time. You're very welcome. Bang on. Indian artifacts, radical rod mirror, master of patterns, and ugly hip. Yep. So if we go to, let's look at Indian artifacts. Oops. Better be AKJ. Indian artifacts. We pull up a picture of Indian artifacts. You guys are going to find,
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
right? See what I'm saying? That is that hip
Like
right
the
there.
same exact hip.
See what I'm
That's
saying?
insane.
That hip right there is that hip right there. Look how like pokey it is, right? Just pokes out and then just drops off a cliff. Boom.
Jeremy, no, that's mean.
Yep. Makes you 11, he'll lay in your spur. That shocks me for a radical rider.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, so when you guys are considering studs and you're considering what kind of horse you have, what kind of horse you want, right? Think about what is this horse made to do? Well, this horse is pretty compact, real pretty shoulder, going to be really pretty up front, but this back end is going to have a hard time driving underneath. That's just more of a thoroughbred back end.
Yep.
Right? More of that kind of hunter's ugly high tail set. Yeah. Yeah, see the like that tail's not going to be able to tuck tight underneath there.
Right.
Yep, so he's going to pop his tail off his back. Yep. Very good. The same neck, right? I like the way both of these necks
Yep.
tie in.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the way this neck is made to be flat right there. We said this horse shouldn't have a problem hanging his neck out there. Very good.
That's
But you can
awesome.
see like that's a good point that she brings up. Like that's a hunter back end with a pleasure front end.
So probably really good at front.
Yep, should be decent up front. Yep, but a Western pleasure style front end. Right, there's your radical rodder, all this, the thicker neck, right, and here's your Indian artifacts you got back here.
Yep, for sure. Yep. Thank you, Bonnie.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Megan sent hers in. Perfect.
Awesome.
Yay! Hopefully you get through.
Not being a giraffe trying to back. Awesome.
Aww.
Very good. Where are we at?
Scroll down a little bit.
Funny here. Not sure if I missed mine.
Let's do,
no problem.
Go over. The baby.
The baby.
Let's
Oh
do the
boy.
part.
Okay, so we're gonna get. This is tough. This is a tough one, right?
Oh, it's so cute.
It's adorable, but it's so hard to tell what kind of horse you're gonna have, right?
I love it.
Super hard to tell what horse you're gonna have. So I'm gonna say, big reach and shoulder, really rough ride. Yeah, that'll do it. That back end will do it. Okay, so I'm gonna say we are a little pokey here.
Well, you can't really tell.
You can kind of tell, right? You can kind of tell that this is kind of
No,
straight.
Jeremy. It's
We're
adorable.
not gonna beat up on
Love
this
it.
baby. It's so cute, headed,
Look at it. Oh,
right?
it's so cute.
So we kind of draw our little lines.
I like how
and
he's
our little
behind.
horse.
Like I like how his hocks set.
Good set to his hocks.
Yeah, really
Yes,
good set to
like
his
that.
hocks. I like his neck too.
Yep. So you think about where that hock is. That kind of hard to tell. Is that the end of his hock?
I can't.
That's his
I,
other
no,
leg.
It's
His
the
hock
other
ends
leg.
right here.
Yeah, it ends up there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
And
No, it's just because like this is like the ball right there.
so this is his other.
Yeah,
hock.
right there.
Okay. All right. So we said 3 months, 3 days, 3 years, right? It's very
They are
hard.
so cute. I love them.
Very hard to judge this horse based on what you see here.
Yeah, but I do like how his neck ties in.
It's gonna be low,
Like,
right?
He hangs
Look
it down.
how
I
low.
really like that.
Look how low this ties in, right?
I really like that.
So we got that 2/3 rule, long over the top, short over the bottom, ties in really low to a decent angle to his shoulder, right? So I like this, like what I see. He's a little short under here, but he's gonna grow into that a little
Yeah,
bit,
he's gonna go into that, yeah.
right? A little long over the top compared to this, but he's gonna grow into it.
Yep.
But just looking at him like this, I mean, I know he's pretty new, right? But like this seems just a little bit more powerful than this.
Yep, his he's like a big shoulder on him.
Yep, like this back end is gonna be very similar to the last horse we looked at. Just kind of pokey right there. Looks more like a huntery style back end to me, right? Like if you've seen some of the pictures of Making Me Willie Wild's babies, and you're gonna see kind of a pleasury back end. She is too. She's gonna be sleeping in the stall with it.
I know, I love them. They're so cute. It's hard to tell when the babies though.
It is. It
He's
definitely
just
is.
gotta get muscle and grow into him and.
Yep. Let's
try
see if
to
I
get
can.
another baby one.
Yeah, see if I can load a baby. Since this is a good time to send baby pictures in because there's so many, right?
Oh, it's so cute. Whose horse is this?
I don't know.
I love it.
It's adorable though.
So cute. This one's like brand new though. That one's like grown into himself a little bit.
March 11.
I said this one's like fresh.
Yeah, that's pretty fresh. It's hard to tell, but you'll get a decent idea, right? Look at the difference in the hip.
Yeah.
Right? Much different hip. I mean, like I said, it is hard to tell because this is quite a bit older, but they should send a baby lope video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, like that's really hard to tell. But yeah, I'm with you, Shannon. Making Me Willie Wild's throwing some wicked pretty babies.
Yeah.
I'm
they're
really
pretty.
excited.
I want to know how this one's bred.
Yeah, how is this one bred?
If
I'm
you're
gonna
on.
say he's more of an English style.
Yeah, you can send yours in still.
Yeah, Ashley,
Yeah.
you can still send it in.
I mean, there's a ton we have to go through,
Yeah,
so
we're
I don't
doing
know
a bunch
if
more.
I don't know if everyone will be up till midnight with
doing
us.
this?
But
Yeah, so we had done, Ashley, if you guys are just tuning in, we had done a bloodlines and picking your next champion video. So we're going over, people are sending their horses in because we're kind of demonstrating, like people had said, will you draw over the pictures of what you're talking about? Because we were demoing one of our horses. And so they're sending theirs in so we can critique them. So you guys can kind of get an idea of how I look at horses and get you some insight into how I'm picking babies. And this is how we try to buy as much talent as possible, right? You can buy a lot of talent if you know what you're looking for,
Right.
right? And you don't have to spend that much.
Yep.
Okay, so trying to help you guys out as much as possible. You're wrong, baby Sophie. Oh, see, now, okay.
Well, this is baby Sophie?
This is baby Sophie, so we'll see what this mare grew up into.
Oh my gosh, Sophie was so precious. Aww.
So where do we like Sophie? We love her up front.
We do love her up front.
We do love her up front.
We do love her up
So
front.
she
That's
grew-
crazy because I said I like him up front.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We do love her up front. The back end ended up filling out, right? She did end up filling out really pretty behind.
Right
We
on
do
the
like
way.
the sets of the hot.
Where do you send them? You send them to La Roche Horses on Facebook.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So we said we love that angle right there, right? Coming through, love the angle here. Got a good set to it. This hip filled out a lot.
See, I told you.
Yep. Yep. But super pretty neck, super pretty shoulder.
Yeah, gorgeous neck.
Yep. Very good. Let me put this in there so we can see kind of what this horse
That's
is like.
awesome. Oh, she was so cute.
She was adorable. So
She's still pretty headed.
yeah, she's gorgeous headed. So right there you can see we've got still like this line of our horse, right? Through here.
She
Back
really
cross.
filled out on her hip.
Yep, she changed a lot.
That's crazy.
But nice balanced horse right there, long across the bottom, good angle to her shoulder. If anything, this is a little bit ahead of this.
Wait, what?
See where like her leg ties in? Her leg ties in, the middle of her leg is right there.
Yep.
But look at where her wither is. Let me do a straight line. Right there. This gap right here is why Sophie has a hard time going slow.
Okay, why is that?
Because that leg's got to travel under here.
Okay, so it's gotta hold the ground longer.
It's got to hold the ground.
Okay.
Yep. So if both of these legs tied in and came under here, do you see where that horse had an easier time holding the ground under her right here?
Time. Yep.
Yep. So this horse is going to kind of always want to be out here,
But
right? Which I think is exactly what we run into when we ride this horse, right? Like she has a hard time. She kind of wants to be jumping out here, right? So thinking about where that leg ties in.
yeah, she's a really pretty mare.
If
You
I
should see
could-
her in person. She's gorgeous.
gorgeous. Yeah. If I could bring that leg back right here, right, just slide it back a little bit right in this area.
Yep.
It would be much easier for
We
this
can
horse to
see
go
how
slow.
to hold it because it's usually more tighter compact.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because this is what I ran into with Marley too. Like, she was a little longer backed and stuff, so it was hard for her to like hold the ground, and she had a hard like. That's why we didn't really warm up much when we showed her
Yep.
because we didn't want to like because she'd get really tired because she had to hold the ground really long and
Yep.
she wouldn't be able to hold it. It's like Peanut, like she could do it all day.
Yeah.
But she has longer pasterns, like the good bar horse that we were talking about earlier. She has longer pasterns, so
Absolutely.
it's easier for her to hold the ground. But sometimes we do get a little like flip out there.
Yep.
We had to work on like teaching her how to like contain that.
Yep. Yep. But yeah, so you just think about like you're gonna be sitting like here,
Yep.
and if we compare it to the other horses, there's just more horse out here.
Yep.
Right? There's just more horses, just kind of far away from your midline, right?
Yep.
But otherwise, really pretty mare, super pretty horse. She's probably gonna do really well on the halter. If you want to have
She's
this,
so cute.
she's adorable.
Yeah.
If you want to have this mare do better in the halter, I'm probably gonna make this leg come under here a little bit more,
So just set her back a little more.
kind of like angle her this way.
And goes, okay.
Yep, yep. Because like this hawk's laying down just a little bit. So if I want to do better in the form of halter, she's got a big, pretty enough hip
I
that
think
you could
she's
stand
gorgeous.
this up right there a little bit sharper and still have some hip hanging out,
Okay.
right? And then like everything would kind of shift this way. Make sense?
Yeah, for sure. If you like took the front feet back just a little bit.
Yep.
Yep. I can see
Yep.
that.
Bring these fronts
Yeah.
underneath of her a little
Underneath
bit,
her,
and then
yeah.
let her lean that way.
Lean that way. Yep. Ah.
Like
Ah, she's
pull
so
everything
pretty.
up and out.
Yeah.
Yep. But
She's like a bigger peanut.
yeah, she's gorgeous.
She's beautiful.
This mare's really fun to ride.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
so much, Bonnie. But yeah, so
Yeah,
this
thank
is
you,
what it
Bonnie.
was. That's where it started.
Oh my goodness. I was all right.
So looking at it here, we can kind of see that same, oops, this one, that same slope, that same, like, that shoulder's just kind of far out in front.
Yep.
Yep.
It's so
Awesome.
still super
Thank
hard
you,
to tell
Bonnie.
them when they're really young though, like that.
Yeah, this is so hard to tell. Like, don't rule out your babies at this stage.
I'm a bit. Molly says, like,
Don't
Mom,
look
like,
at it and be
"Oh,
like,
no,
oh, it's never gonna make it.
it's
The only
never
thing you
gonna
can tell
make
about
it."
this horse is that dishy face.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Really pretty headed. Big, pretty eyes. Ears want to be forward.
And they want to be like set forward. I love it.
Still got ears forward.
Uh,
Still got that little dish to her face.
That's awesome.
Super pretty. Gorgeous
Can
horse.
you do that hunter horse? Oh, right there.
This one?
I want to see this one. Oh,
All right.
so cute.
It's adorable. Okay, so we've got our hunter horse here. Neck is down, but too low, right? Probably should pick this neck up a little bit, let it be easier for him to carry himself, right? If you imagine here's our top line, right? That neck could come up a little bit,
Yep, just a touch. Yep.
right? Like see that neck come in a little bit further right through here.
Yep.
Make this a little easier for him to carry himself,
Right.
right? If we rock everything up and back,
Yep.
right? Then this can slide under and through.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right? So that's really what we're trying to do with all these horses, guys. Like if we can get all of this to come up and this way, then that gives all this room to swoop under and through.
Yeah.
Right?
You can definitely see that. Yeah.
Can you kind of see that? So
Yeah.
you can imagine like this horse kind of everything's going this way.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Right? So we're gonna have a harder time riding this horse, like it's all kind of landing out through here.
Yep. So I want to rock the horse up and back.
Bring all of it, like this body right through here, bring this way.
Yep.
Which will let this slide under,
Yep. For sure. Yep.
right? So that's always like, we're trying to split our horse into two, right? We're gonna bring their body up and back, which will let them sling their legs under and through, right?
Yep.
Kind of rock those legs through there,
Yep.
okay? So having this roundness all the time is what we're trying to get,
Yep.
right?
For sure.
Very good. So then if we think about what we've got, right? Hard to tell when they got saddles on. So coming through, we have through here, oops, straight lines are important. Through here, this way, this way, this way. Oops. This, oh,
There you
that.
go.
Okay. So we've got a decent trapezoid here, right?
Yep.
I'm a little low on this. I probably can come through a little bit higher. Like
There
that,
you go. Yep.
right? But again, we can kind of see how this is all kind of getting high and this is all kind of getting low,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So we
just
would
kind
want
of
to,
shift that.
yep, we'd want to
Yep.
rock this horse up and back. That's going to be your turns, right? Stop, back, turn, and go off.
Yep.
Pick everything this way. Make this horse come up and around.
Yep. Make them sit on their back end.
Yep, yep. Have him come up and around as much as possible. Because if I were a judge and I was looking over, I would say, oh, he's kind of falling down.
Yep.
Right? Just real quick. Regardless of where his head and neck position was, right? You can just kind of see if this is higher, right? Then everything's kind of just going off that is his top line.
Right. Yep.
Yep. Yep. So, and that rocking him up and back this way would give him a deeper step behind,
Super step behind. Yep. For sure.
which would let this leg come more like up here.
Yep. And then his left front would be able to hold the ground a lot longer
Yep.
too when he lopes.
Yep. Yep. So kind of getting everything operating in those lanes. Split that horse in two,
Yep.
rock that horse and send his legs forward.
Yep.
Really, you want your leg leading the way of your head and neck. Right? These two things should kind of come like together in there.
Right.
Right? That leg should lead the way. So that neck needs to come like this way. You can imagine if you picked it up and back, it would bring it more towards this line right here, which is the line of his toe. Right? So if we go, here's his toe right there. If you could bring this way,
Right.
right, it would bring all this more in line up here.
Right. For sure. Yep.
Yep. So just keeping that horse a little bit tighter.
Yep.
But that's the big idea that we're going for here is trying to get. Yep, your pally wants to travel like this. Yeah, super common,
Yeah.
right? A lot of people's horses do. That's why we're saying like your riding will be so much easier if you focus on bringing all this way.
Shifting it all back.
Shift it all back. Shift everything like that over through there, which will let this like sickle through there like that.
Yep.
That's how your horse should ride,
Through. Yep.
right? Just whoop, and send those legs back through. This is Sophie's mom. Wow, look at that.
Oh my goodness.
Investor bred of impressive mare. Yeah,
Wow.
I can see that. Sophie's hip, pretty neck,
Yeah, pretty nice.
right?
For
Real
sure,
pretty
yep.
neck, real thin throat latch.
Yep.
Yeah, very good.
That's
and then that's
awesome.
pretty front end, right? We talk about like she's got good reach,
She does. Yep.
good flat foot. Yeah, so you can PM it to us on LaRoche Horses Facebook.
Yep.
Yep,
Be perfect.
absolutely. Yeah, that's all I was taught. I know, that sucks, right? And it's unfortunate we have to go back and retrain these horses.
Right.
But, I mean, hopefully what we get out of all this is not only for...
Can you do this one?
which one?
It's fun.
This one?
Yeah.
Yep. So not only can we
Oh, it's so cute.
not only can we say like, okay, I see what I have to retrain my horse like, right? But I want you guys to understand how horses use their bodies, right? How they move and how they work, because if we don't understand that, then we go, like even if you keep your horse at a trainer, we go to the trainers and is it doing good? I don't know.
Right, yeah.
Right? So hopefully teaching you guys like, pick out a good horse, right? How does that conformation work to work on that horse, right? Because then you can look at horses and you go, well, I hate the way he moves, but he should be able to do it right. Right? Which is how when people send me horses all the time, I go, okay, well, I don't like what I have right now. Right? I don't like the horse you have, but I look at the way he carries himself, I look at the way he's made, and I know he can do better. Right? So it's about looking and going, okay, what do I struggle with this horse? And am I always going to struggle with that? Right?
Yep.
Or could we, same as Mare, naturally slow, she just went on. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So you can really try to get,
This is a cute horse.
this is a cute horse.
It reminds me of Chris and Chelsea's yearling, Sully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll look.
Like
got
nice hip.
Bigger horse back here, right? Oops, I'm drawing the background again. So bigger horse right here, more horse here than here, right? Bigger hip than shoulder. Okay. So if we draw our lines, we look here. That's where I always start. Oops, I can do a straight line. Down, back, through. Very good. So getting better little by little. Awesome.
That's
Very
awesome.
good. So having this horse right here, I guess this is a little bit further out front. Oh, boy. Oh,
We're
boy,
drawing
boy.
else.
Somewhere out there.
I think this horse is really balanced. I like him.
Right there. Right there. Pretty balanced, right?
Yeah.
If anything, we could say that this horse is a little long through here.
This is my mare.
Duchess, coming 5 now, looks the same on her saddle. Awesome. Okay, so a little long through there, right? Wouldn't mind seeing this be a little bit more efficient. It gets a little flat, a little long right there, right? So then coming through right here, I like to set this horse's hock. Really steep, long pasterns, okay? So really kind of long pasterns, kind of steep. Shoulder comes through. A little short-necked. Would like to see this be a little bit longer. I think this horse is going to have a tendency to kind of like just be slightly above level, right? If you think about where this neck is, it's just missing kind of like that scope that we're looking for, where some of the other horses that we've seen like look like they just hang their neck out there, or they'd over bridle. He looks like he'd be somewhere kind of in the middle, kind of thick through there, a little thick through there, right? So this horse probably a little tougher in his jaw, right? A lot harder for this horse to round up, because you think about what we're talking about is the length of this over top gives you the ability to drop and round up, right? So you want to have kind of this action going on with your head and neck. Right? Do you see how if you're shorter underneath and longer over top, that's easier to do?
Yep.
Right? Because you have less to round up here and more to stretch down here. Right? So that longer on the top is really important. Shorter on the bottom is really important.
So this is good.
Well, this one's a touch long. Right? Touch long on the bottom, touch short on the top. Right? So I'd like to take this neck and just kind of like do that with it. Right? Bring the bottom line under and bring the top line over, which will let that neck kind of hook a little more so it can carry its neck a little bit more round, right? It's probably really easy for this horse to carry itself level, but if we want this horse to really like come under and then back up in that area, gonna be a little bit harder for him, right? Because you just have a little.
I do love how balanced he is.
Yep. You have just a little too much here. I'd like to see that be just a touch longer. Yep. But other than that, like should be able to go pretty slow here. Hangs your neck nice and low, hard at the low. Yeah, hard time getting insane around. That's what I'm talking about, right? Like if you think about you're sitting here, right? We're gonna round this over and we're gonna round this over, right? So we're kind of be sitting on top of that mountain. So getting that horse to where it'll round under and really break in half.
Yeah, see, kind of like, do you want to compare? Has kind of like the same, like that hook right there?
Yeah.
And, yep. Has that one?
Yeah, that's that Sully?
Yeah.
Oh, I say that's a pretty horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like that little hook right there behind kind of sets down, just
Yep.
like the same.
Yep,
yeah.
absolutely. Same back end.
But same
Should be
back
really
end.
deep behind.
Not as
right?
much as the front end, but as the same kind of like behind as him.
Yep.
For
Yep.
sure.
And like thinking about this, if that could set just a little bit more underneath, right? And that's just a little bit more hook right there, a little bit more round back there.
Yep.
But ultimately, I would say that this horse is really cute. It just needs more muscle.
Yep, just a little more
Right?
tone up.
It looks a little soft. It looks a little bit
I actually
unfit.
sent one over her riding him too. Let me see if I can find.
As a horse vet, that's so hard to explain. For example, when people want to chalk up short stride to lameness, but they're not built for their issues. Yeah, exactly. Very
Did she
welcome,
send
Vicky.
Did she send it over Facebook?
Who's that?
Or- She said no, but I also sent a photo of her under saddle.
Oh.
See if I can
See
find.
the photo under saddle. I don't think I have it.
There's so many now.
There's so many now. Yeah, everybody's blowing this up. Yeah. So,
Let me see.
yeah, and that's exactly right, Vicky. Like it's, if you're thinking about, oh, that horse is just, it's sore, right? Could it make that movement, right? Like you kind of have to identify that. They're just not made to do what you're trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah, she's really good behind.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, if you guys can kind of see,
Very
this is
good.
this horse now under saddle. Do you see how she's like, she can swing really up underneath of herself?
Yep. Yep. That hawk should be able to sit way up underneath. Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
I said she looks really good behind.
Yeah,
I
for
like
sure.
her behind. She's good. Yeah, she does. She's
Yep.
nice.
Yeah,
Really
and
nice
that's,
horse.
that picture is exactly what we're talking about, right? If you look at the head and neck, that head and neck, oh, can we see? Yep, right there. Made to hang straight out, right? But going to be harder for that horse to like round over with it being just a little longer here. We had the same problem with Marley, right? Marley was made a little longer underneath, and then I was talking about that in that video. Like I wanted to take out some of this part with Marley so she could get under here a little bit more and kind of get more in this area.
Yeah, for sure.
Very good.
Yeah, Molly had a hard time. Like, that's why I couldn't really do patterns with hers because she never wanted to be like.
Yep.
Vertical.
Yep. Like I would be cautious of this horse putting its head and neck on the vertical, right? Because you're gonna get like straight like that, right? Like straight on the vertical rather than it should be down here,
Okay.
right? I'd rather see this bottom line right here than this top line right here. But that bottom line's gonna be harder for us to get
Okay.
because it's just gonna it's gonna stretch so much through here and through here in order to get down there.
Okay.
Right, to kind of round over right there.
Yep.
If you can imagine, I can draw a better line. Round over to have its head slightly out. If you can imagine.
Yeah, kind of.
So, but when you stretch this out, if this neck isn't very long, think about you, right? Where does it pull? Right? It pulls right through here, this whole area.
Yep.
Right? So a little bit shorter neck's gonna pull a lot more, right? And you're just gonna have to work on getting this horse strong right through there.
Yep.
Really flexible, really strong right through there and right through here.
Yep.
Yep. Very good.
Thank
Nice
you
horse.
so much.
Very
Super
nice horse.
I love it. She's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like really just like well balanced natural horse.
Yeah.
I really like her.
Yep. Gonna hold the ground a long time, right? Like
As I
this,
said, like I really like
that
she's just
passion
really
right there.
balanced. Yeah.
Yep, gonna hold the leg.
I really
But
like
again, it's the same idea with the good bars, right? The longer your pasterns are, you're gonna hold under here more, but you're gonna have to be cautious getting that flip.
Mm.
Yep. Very good. Another hunter?
I think so. Can you blow it up a little bit?
There we
you go.
Hope it doesn't pixelate so much. Alright, might be a little blurry.
Might be just a little bit.
Oops. Okay, so hunter horse. So we got that little bit higher in the wither, maybe not. Kind of standing downhill. Should be a little higher in the wither than the hip. So again, that's what we're always looking for, right? I love having horses that ride a little bit higher in their wither
Yeah, for sure.
than their hip, right? But just kind of lacking some angle back here.
Yep.
Right? So you can see we're a real pretty shoulder, kind of lacking some angle back
But it
here.
has more of the hunter hip.
Got the hunter hip, right?
Yep.
So that's just that hunter back end. And this is where those hunter horses physically can't go as slow as those pleasure horses.
Right.
Right? If you think
But
about
the hunter horses.
yeah, if you think about that pleasure horse, it's gonna have that hip rolling under, set like that, right? That back end is just made to go slower and land up in this
Yeah.
area, right?
Yep.
So thinking about having that back end landing under here, really important.
Yep.
Right?
I love hard neck too.
Oh yeah, super pretty neck. Like this horse gonna be really soft in her face. It'll be really easy for her to give right here to her pole because she's just thin right there, right?
Yeah, that's nice.
Really easy for her to do that.
Really, really pretty.
Neck ties in good. Gonna hang her neck out there. Probably be really pretty neck.
Yep.
Really pretty neck.
Really, really pretty.
Looks like I mean, that's very typey, right?
Right.
Like deep heart girth right here. Pretty right through there. Like that difference in my horse. Right? Nice horse.
Yeah, super nice.
Should be a really nice horse. Obviously, it's a hunter horse, not going to be quite as deep behind, but probably better behind than some of the other ones that we've seen, right?
Yep.
It's got a decent angle here. A little flat there, but looks like an Indian artifacts type.
Yep.
Like the stud we looked at, right?
Yep.
Looks just like, if I can find it.
I think you get rid of it.
No. Did I?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think you
I did. Shoot. Okay. Yeah, it looks like an Indian artifacts type.
Yeah, it does.
Yep. Very good. Nice horse.
Yeah,
I bet
super
this. I
pretty.
bet this is a really pretty horse. I bet it's done some winning.
Yeah, if you're on, like, let us know. I want to
Yep.
know the breeding of
Yep.
it.
I bet it's done some winning.
Want to do Hudson next?
Where's he at?
Not. You gotta go down. Right there. Good looking horse. Yeah, it's really pretty.
All about blue. Look at me. Yeah. Yep. Real typey. Really pretty horse. So I see the look at me here.
Yeah.
I think it looks like look at me. See if I can find a picture of him.
Same hip.
Yeah. So when I look at that horse, I say, oh, I see this right here. Yeah, Steven, sounds good, man.
That'd be awesome.
So I look at this horse and I see this horse.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow, this horse
So
is
looks
beautiful.
like Luke at me. So we see that same kind of hip, same hock. Right? Real pretty neck. Gorgeous, gorgeous throat latch, right?
Yeah.
So very similar horse. Very similar horse. Same deep heart girth, same
Yeah.
tuck, same back end. All of it's there. It's exactly what it looks like to me.
That's awesome.
Yep. Maybe a little pokier here. Right? And that's probably the all about blue. Yep. But looks a lot like his daddy.
It does.
Man, that horse is pretty.
Yeah, horse is gorgeous.
Love that neck. Like that's that scopy
That is
hunter
beautiful.
look right there. That's cool.
Gorgeous.
Oh, Chunk. Stephen Chunk Watts. Oh, yeah, I get it now. I just glanced. 100% super legged, not super minded. Lives life with Pirelli horse. Yeah.
Aww.
Yep. Yeah, so they called him Spook at Me, right?
Oh,
Luke
really?
at Me. They call him Spook at Me.
Aww.
So they're just a couple little screws loose.
Okay.
But man, they're
Go down
talented.
real quick. Go right there.
All right, do we have a different picture of him? Do we have a better picture of him? A little more square picture. Yes. Oh, no. We're going to have to disable Twitch chat.
Yeah. Just do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll do this one.
Oh, you're
I
drawing.
did end up drawing on the
in
background.
background.
We'll see if we can blow this up a little bit.
Oh.
Do we have a zoom? Control plus.
What program are you using to draw the red lines?
I'm in Photoshop. Adobe Photoshop. And I'm using like holding shift to draw straight, right?
Yep.
All right.
This is Hudson.
Okay, so we know this horse.
Mm-hmm.
So we can identify pieces of this horse, right? We can come across here, draw our line through the middle. What do we have? Now this horse is not square onto the camera.
Right.
So you have to imagine he's kind of like this. He's got to get square to the camera. So you're going to lose a little bit of your shoulder. You're going to gain a little bit of back end, right?
Right to La Roche Horses on Facebook.
Yep.
Yep.
So we're going to lose a little bit of our shoulder in this angle shot because we're kind of angled off this way, right? Yeah, see we blocked Twitch chat. So we're going to lose a little bit of our angle right here, right? So we're going to see more hip than we are shoulder. So keep that in mind with where we're at, right? So through here, round our hip off.
Yep.
Good angle here, great angle there,
Yeah, so he's
right?
He's
Really
really good
like
behind,
this angle into here.
right.
Okay.
Yep.
So if we were to say, like, I'd like to see him be just a little bit, because you have to imagine you're not seeing all of him, right?
Right.
So you get a little bit more,
You're welcome.
right? You get a little bit more, he's going to look longer here, right? So if I look at this and I just say, like, he's a little bit long right there,
Yep.
right? Like, take out some of this area.
So it's
right
gonna be a little
here,
harder for him to stay around.
to use that loin,
Yep.
right? To really use that loin and flex through right here, right?
Right.
That's where that power's got to come through right under there. Oops, let me go all the way around. Power's got to come through there, right? So being a little long right through here is going to make it hard for him,
Right.
right? He's got a long, pretty neck over the top, a little long over the bottom, right? But not too bad. So if you imagine you square this horse back up, right, you're going to be really long over the top and pretty decent over the bottom.
Yep.
Right? Good angle there, good angle to his shoulder, good angle to his throat latch, right? So this horse should be able to tuck up.
Which he does.
Should
Yep.
be able to bridle up. Got a long neck right there, can fit right up in there.
Yep. For sure.
Right? So going to be really easy for this horse to get compact. Going to be really easy for him to get underneath himself. Really like how we've got this into this.
Yeah.
Really like that.
Yep.
Yep. Very
Yeah,
pretty.
he's really pretty.
Yep.
Mr. Dreamboat.
It's the dreamboat right there. Yep. Hard with the wraps on. I don't think I have a different picture of him.
Nice picture of him trotting right there. Ah, look at him.
Yep.
He's so cute.
Maybe a touch narrow up front in this picture. Hard
Yep.
to tell.
He is a little narrow up front though.
Yep.
Like seeing him, like he is a little narrow up front.
Yep. Good. Very good.
Oh, he's so cute. I miss
But I
him.
really like my favorite part of this horse is this right here.
Yeah, he's really good behind.
Really like that. Yep.
Let's see another one.
Who
Let's
else we got?
do.
A lot of hunters.
Aw.
Lots
so
of hunters
cute.
here today. We are zoomed too far. Protect your assets on top, nothing on bottom.
Nothing on bottom. Aw. Perfect.
Protect your assets. I actually don't know what he looks like.
I don't either.
Let's go. He's thinking about not biting, yeah.
AQHA. Oh, he's pretty.
Okay, so protect your assets. If I can find a picture I can save.
He's big.
Yeah, he's a big horse. All right, so we see that nice angle, right? Really like, this is the part we liked on Hudson,
Yep.
right?
Same neck as Hudson.
Same neck, yep. Let's
Yeah.
go, let me bring him back. Where'd he go?
Good on. Right there.
Yep. So bring Hudson back in. Oh, maybe. All right, so bring Hudson back in, and we go right here. We see a lot of the same kind of horse behind,
Yeah, for sure.
right? This angle right here. See how that leg has really got that like hook to it?
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about when I was discussing Marley. Like this hook, kind of like a little J right there, right? A little question mark type, right there.
Yep.
Right. That's really what we're looking for when we start peaking horses and saying, okay, I want a horse that's gonna be deep behind. Kind of what you're looking for.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
It's just where the white space is right here, where that hawk comes underneath and then rocks back under. That's what you want, right? And then this horse, obviously, really pretty withered, really pretty front-legged, and gorgeous necked.
Yeah, wow.
Yep.
Really, really pretty. It's crazy how much they look like them.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yep, for sure. Okay.
Let's do that. This one.
All right. Hunter horse. We'll bring it over just a little bit so you can see. I think that should be
Cute
okay.
little hunter horse.
Yes. All right. Where are we at? Right there. Okay, so we have kind of the same thing that we saw with the other hunters, right? So we're talking about form to function. We're talking about those legs want to be out behind the horses,
Right.
right? So those hunter horses tend to go a little bit faster. They're made to go this way, right? Made to be kind of coming from here through, right? Versus a pleasure horse is kind of made to be coming like that, and then under, right? So these hunter horses just have a harder time taking this leg, rolling it through, and rocking it under, right? They're made to be pushing off from kind of out back here, pushing up, right? So that leg being out behind it just a bit makes it a little bit harder for her to land up here somewhere, right? But we've got pretty angle to our shoulder, good through our front line. Move it a bit over.
Yep.
Oh, yep, the chat.
Yep, the chat is kind of
there.
Sorry, guys. She can't send her picture.
Oh,
I
no.
wonder why. If you can't, you can email it to Jeremy.
Yeah.
That La Roche horse is for.
You got food on your blanket?
No, don't tell me.
Pepperoni on your blanket.
It's embarrassing. We had pizza for dinner.
Yep, you're very welcome. So then we're coming through. If we go, okay, let's piece this horse's neck apart. Long over the top, but kind of long over the bottom, right? Doesn't quite have that scopy hunter look that we're kind of going for, right? Where they taper down real hard and they come up through here real hard, right? So maybe a little bit extra hanging right here, right? That's going to kind of get in the way of that neck. Hey, how are you? So coming through here, that's going to kind of get in the way, right? So that's going to be a little bit harder for this horse to kind of get that really, whoa. To get that super pretty.
Actually, as a fantasy, but you want them to keep their legs under to push off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. But they're going to push off like that way.
So it's better them to have their legs, their hocks set backward, farther than.
Well, and obviously you want, like we're talking hunter versus pleasure, the tendency of these horses to look different, right? But we're talking balanced horses. So if we're saying, well, this horse, would it be as efficient over a fence as one of those other ones? I don't know if that's right.
I think you'll be fine right there.
I think that's right. Just touch. So would it be as efficient over the fence as one that had its back legs underneath him a little bit harder? Well, obviously not, right? So we're talking about no matter what discipline, I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, April, but no matter what discipline, you want to tighten that horse's stride up because you got to get that horse round because that's where power is. That's where athleticism is, right? So if your horse is made with that back end kind of out here, it's going to be harder for that horse because it's going to put its legs together and push off, right? So it's going to land.
She said not like a pleasure horse.
Yep. So it's going to, I think, even a jumper would want to have these legs under itself so it can push off from here to get as high as possible. Right? So she's saying as the fences get bigger, you need those legs under them further. Well, that absolutely makes sense because now it can come more up and down. Right? Versus if those legs were out, it's going to come more flat jumping. Right? So I would think, just being a pleasure horse guy and thinking about movement, if that leg was landing somewhere out there, if that leg was landing somewhere out behind it, you'd have a harder time pushing out. You'd be jumping flatter. Right? So you can imagine if its next stride went here, and then it could go way up. Right? Versus if its stride landed here, it's going to go that way.
For sure. Yep.
Cool.
Perfect.
Very good. So no matter what discipline, we're all going for the same thing. And we noticed that with the Paso Finos too, right?
The Paso Finos.
The Paso Finos. We got Victor in our barn and he does the Pasos and we're all going for the same thing. Right? He's going for soft and supple so he can collect that horse up so its legs can go up and down. In order to go up and down, right, in order to have that powerful balanced position, right, you're going to have him get round.
For sure.
Definitely.
That's a cute horse.
Very cute horse. But I keep messing with the thing on you guys. Artful investment. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And Michaela, yes.
Aww.
I grew up with this smiling face.
Aww.
I used to give this girl lessons
That's so
for a
cute.
long, long time. I've known her since she was like that big.
This big.
Yep. That big.
That's so cute.
So, yeah, really pretty horse, right? Like just a little bit extra here.
Okay.
Right? Would like to see just a little cleaner through there. Right? Make a little bit prettier, scopier look.
Okay.
Right? And then just gonna have a harder time bringing this leg underneath of itself because you're just a touch out behind yourself there.
Okay.
Right? And then like it looks like she could do it though.
Yeah.
Right?
For
Like
sure.
you've got a decent hip here, good set to that right there. Email or messenger, either one's fine.
Either one works good for us.
Yep. Michaela, I have to say, you made me nervous. She went on a cruise. You were lucky you didn't get caught at sea
Yeah.
and stranded out there.
I can't imagine.
I was nervous for you. I was real
can't
nervous for you.
imagine. It'd be so bad.
Really nice horse, though. And I mean,
Yeah, beautiful.
let's look at Artful Investment himself was beautiful.
I would love to have a big hunter horse like this.
Mm-hmm.
They're so pretty. Artful Investment.
I don't know if there's going to be a picture of him. He's
Yeah, I
kind
don't
of
think
old.
so, yeah. I don't see any. I don't know what he looked like.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll find a picture of him.
Wait, go up real quick. Artful Investment home?
Right there.
No.
That's him.
Oh.
Safe on the boat and come back to land. Yeah, you might have been.
Might have been,
You
probably.
might have been. Yeah, he was super
Looks
pretty.
just like
Yep.
her horse.
Yep. Little
Yeah.
over in the knee.
Yep.
Right? Little over in the knee.
This one doesn't have that.
Nope. Nope. Yours is a little bit more solid up front. This is going to move everywhere. There we go. But still a little bit, right? If you think about, you're right there. Enhance. Enhance. A little bit straight up and down right there, right? But he was like pretty severely over in the knee.
Yeah. He was
Right?
really good.
So that leg just kind of weak, right? So he's going to move a lot different one direction than the other,
Right. Yep.
right? So the way he's going to stand on this left, so when he lopes to the right, he's going to have a hard time holding that leg underneath of him.
Right.
He's made a little bit shaky out there, right? But when he goes to the left, he's going to be like whipping that leg out real flat,
Yeah.
right? He won't be able to bend this knee.
Yeah, we had a horse that was a little over in the knees,
Mhm.
and she was really good one direction.
Really good one.
She
there.
was like, floop.
But when you made her stand on that same kind of over in the knee leg,
Yeah, it was a little bit
she
hard
had a hard
for her.
time.
Yep.
Yep. That's what happens.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Good, good, good.
Who
else we got?
See here.
Use the pic I sent to Jeremy's master account. Good example, lower hinds under. Yes. I'll check it out.
I think you have a few of them. Wait, go back to Messenger.
Over here.
There
Yeah, see? There it is. So we talk about the difference between, let me load it in this so you can see it.
Downloads.
That's where I'm at.
Perfect.
Where'd he go?
He disappeared.
He's gone.
I don't think he downloaded it.
You don't think so?
No. I think he just got a picture off of it.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't download it.
Okay.
There you go. It's not there.
I'm blind.
No, okay, go to like the little, go right to the bottom right there and hit show and folder. There you go.
Oh, he's going horses. That's why.
Yeah.
Downloads are going to the horses. All right. So, too close.
This is pretty.
Okay. So, I don't know why my background slid over.
I don't either.
There
There
we
you
go.
go.
There we go. All right.
Perfect.
So, we can see that good bar looking back end, right? So we're right here. There's that round hip. Good set, good set,
Yeah, for sure.
right? Right in there is what we're talking about. So real round, real good angle right there. Round, good angle, good angle.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay. This back end's gonna be very easy for this horse to get underneath himself.
Mm-hmm.
Super easy.
Look, you draw from that line by his hip. It's
Yeah. So if you go like right by the point of his hip, look where that toe is.
Yeah, I mean it's like right there.
I mean, he's right there. That back end is right there for you to call on, right?
Yeah.
And if we're going and looking at our lines, this horse is super compact, right? Coming through here, really compact horse. Let me do better.
You can do better.
I
than
can
that.
do better than that. So right here, and then we'll start here, go this way, do this over his shoulder, back around, back up to his hip, right there, right? So really balanced horse.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
He's standing a little downhill, so you're gonna have a little bit of angle back here, but really compact, right? If you think about here to here, and then here to here, right? Super tight horse right here.
Yep.
Gonna be real easy for this horse to get round right there.
Yep.
Right? There is not much that this horse has to do in order to get round.
Right.
Right? Because there physically isn't much body to get around with right here.
No, there's that much.
Right? Physically not much room to get around.
Right.
Right? So if you think about how hard is this horse going to work to break in half? Super easy for him.
Super easy for him.
Yep. So if you're going, we're saying, okay, we're going long top line through here. Looks like obviously got the same good bar, right? We talked earlier about the other one. That's a good bar back end, and there's a good bar pastern. See how long? Long pastern.
Yep.
Right? So these horses tend to be, just for me, a touch long from there to there. Right? And that's, again, you're going to have to unfold that, right? Probably going to show up in his jog. He's probably going to pick up a little bit of ankle flip when he jogs. Right? So, but other than that, I mean, what a pretty animal, right? Like,
yeah, gorgeous.
Obviously a stud, right? Big old jowl on him, dishy head. Got that sudden head, sudden impulse heads, right? Super dishy, Arabesca sudden type heads.
Super, super pretty.
But that compact body, that sudden impulse, right? Super tight. Remember I said that Impulsions was my favorite horses. They were just little muscle bound, tight little things. Could be tough minded.
Yep.
But they were just super compact.
Right. Yep.
Right? And they did not like your feet being on them. But the thing you have to watch for with these suddens is, like, they usually start out really good, and then they get tired. So what I found with at least the suddens that I've had, they tend to be like little fireworks, right? So they would peter out.
Yeah.
So like they come out like $1,000,000, and like 15 minutes in, they're just out of gas.
Right.
Right. So and the secret to these suddens always for me was going right here in their belly. You'll never get this neck, like, see how he's kind of thick here? To ask him to like really stay round, you got to go to his middle.
Right. Yep.
Right. They're just going to be too pushy. They want to be straight out there.
Right.
With their head and neck.
Yep.
Yep. So you got to get them up.
Really pretty.
Get them up here, and then this will come under where it's supposed to.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
Really pretty horse.
Super pretty horse. I bet that's going to be a high-end show horse.
Yeah, for sure.
Very
It's
nice
gorgeous.
horse. And then like we're just talking about ease of motion, right? This is so much easier to lift this little area than lift some of those long horses, right? They're long on the bottom, long on the top. There's so much more horse to lift up.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, super, super nice horse.
Mm-hmm. Nice horse. Glenda, that was yours, right? Nice horse.
Have,
right.
let's see here. Oh, go down one, right there.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty.
Very pretty. Wicked cool. You're welcome, Katrina.
Oh, I miss Katrina and all that.
I know. Our friends down there.
Aw, sad. This one's really pretty.
Super pretty. We'll kind of move this around so you can see it.
A little drawing
Watch
in
my
the
background.
background.
Oh, shoot. I don't know how it didn't let me draw it before. A little graffiti.
I said, remember to live, make sure you can see.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot. It's always a little bit
Yep,
behind.
it's always a little slow. Okay. Rasterize this.
Yeah, you get. Oh, you're good.
That's behind.
Perfect.
So, where are we at? We are pretty balanced.
I said
right?
really balanced, yeah.
Very balanced. We've got big, pretty hip. Right through here. Good set, good set.
I think it's really pretty behind.
Very pretty horse. So then,
Big shoulder too.
got this leg set underneath him, right? This leg could come forward just a touch. You'd have a prettier setup for this class anyway. Right, this leg is just a little bit angled back. Wouldn't mind seeing it be a little more underneath him. So more like this.
Right. Yep.
Right? Or with, like, if you were trying to win a halter class, you would want to bring all of this way.
Yep.
Right? Which is going to stand this hock up just a little bit more.
Yep.
Right? And then you won't get, like, you won't be as pretty hipped, but you'll have a little bit better, like, post.
Post, yep.
Yep. And then it'll rock all of this kind of forward.
Yep.
Yep. But really long, pretty neck, right? There's that kind of scopy neck. Looks like he's a little bit huntery bred, right?
Yep.
This could be like a look at me type horse.
Yep.
Absolutely. Kind of like dark bay, brown. Certainly could be a look at me.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at how he's made.
Or if you're on.
Yeah,
I'd
if
love
this is
to
your
hear.
horse and it's a look at me,
I'll have to look
gold
at
star for me for the day.
Yeah.
But and like, see that deep heart girth of him, He rocks up really hard right there, tucks hard, long under the bottom, short over the top, like this horse. Probably no reason why this horse shouldn't do it, right? Like if I was picking this horse out, I'm gonna say, you know what? Like he's maybe a touch long under here. He's pretty similar. Like if this maybe ended right there, that'd be better. But super pretty horse. Super pretty horse. Good pasterns.
If they put
Good
the
angle.
reading in,
Very pretty.
oh here.
Gonna block this one too.
Alright.
So coming around, that's what we're looking for. That's what we're going for. Okay. Grandson is out of England Artifacts. Yep. Awesome. Zip chocolate chip. So that's where you get your better back end than your Indian Artifacts, right? But no. Yeah, so there you go. That's what we're looking for, right? Trying to get as much like long hooky neck. There's that kind of huntery neck, and then the pretty back end of a zip chocolate chip. Awesome.
I say it's really pretty.
Very pretty.
Really, really pretty.
Very pretty. I like it. I like it a lot.
He's gorgeous. I want a big horse like that. They're so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I have a peanut.
You do have a peanut.
14
You have just a
hands.
little itty bitty peanut. Yep. Yep.
Sad.
You do. It's hard.
I do love her. I think there's a couple more.
Who do we have?
Let's do
Did that one.
that one.
This one?
Yeah, we did this one.
Younger one, I bet. Younger one. So this is one of the hard things about having young ones. 17 hands. Yeah, he's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Super pretty. And yeah, that's a good mix,
so
right? Like that zip
beautiful.
chocolate chip is gonna add some back end to the Indian Artifacts. I bet that's a nice horse. I bet he's a cool
Yeah.
mover.
Good video. I love to see a video of them.
Yeah.
He's so pretty.
All right. So we are here.
Oh, this reminds me of Peanut Butter.
Yep.
Looks just like her.
So
Aw.
here's a younger one, looks like. Okay. This is a lot of what like Peanut looked like when we decided, you know, we're just gonna leave her off.
Yeah, we're
gonna
gonna
let her
leave
grow
her
up, right? So really out of balance, right?
I'll make
Got
sure
a
it's-
lot of hip up here and just super downhill. This horse is just gonna have a hard time getting up and back so it can bring this under, right? And that's kind of what you end up with, where you've got to get this up and back, okay? If you can't get this up and back, you can't get that up and under. So this is what we end up with Peanut, where maybe we're asked to lift her back and lift this piece up. Whoops. This
Did you
piece up.
send it in email or messenger? Because I don't see it in a messenger.
Might have sent me personally.
Yeah.
I have quite a few.
Okay, perfect.
I have quite a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't look massive, but he's just big and pretty. So
Right, yeah.
that's what we're looking for as far as just super balanced, because then it's just, I mean, they don't look gangly if they have a lot of heart girth like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
That's
so if you've got, like if we go back to this horse, we've got just a higher hip, lower wither, gonna be hard for this horse to get up and back with everything, right? And that's just the nature of the beast. So you've got to let this horse grow up a little bit. Like certainly not one that I would push to be a younger, like futurity type horse. But if we've got a big, pretty hip, good round, good set, good angle, little long, not too bad. Should be a good horse when you let him grow up a little bit, right? If we let him
I don't see it. I'll have to look.
come up to where he was even, like he's got a lot of growing to do right
Yep.
through here.
And we had this with Peanut too.
Yep.
And this is when we were like, well,
Yep.
we're gonna learn, just grow up a little bit. And she did. She's so much better now.
Yeah, because this horse got a pretty back end, right?
Yeah, really pretty
Like it
back
should
end.
certainly be able to step up underneath itself, but it's gonna have a hard time doing that because everything's just kind of going that way,
Right.
right?
Yep.
It's just gonna kind of go through.
It
Right?
reminds me a lot of Peanut, like good behind,
Mhm.
but just needs like to learn how to come up and back.
One thing I like, and what we noticed about these horses, like the short little cannon bones,
Yep.
right? But if you look at how short and then how long, right?
Yep.
That's some of where our unbalance comes from. We drew a line through his hocks and his knees and through his fetlocks.
Yep.
Right? Look how much longer.
Yep, and this is the same thing with Peanut.
Yep, same problem.
You should pull up a picture of
I don't know if I have a profile of her.
like a profiles of her?
I don't think I do.
Because we can compare that, and it's very similar.
Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure.
I think we did take a profile picture of her. You can critique a different one, and I can pull it up. And
Yep. But yeah, so, and this is what we ran into with Peanut, right? If you're coming through here, and say you've got your...
Okay, here.
Send it to me.
I'm trying this one probably, right?
Yep.
How should I messenger?
Yeah, message it to me. So really similar to our Peanut horse, and this is even her like what, a month ago or something?
This is our month ago.
Yeah, not that long ago. So as a 4-year-old, you can see where.
There you go. Aw, baby girl.
Very. I mean, like you almost couldn't tell that I switched the picture, right? Like, oh man.
Yeah, almost identical.
Whoops.
That's why I was like when I saw it, I was like, this reminds me of Peanut.
So same kind of horse.
2-year-old lazy Oprah grandson going by Charlie is sire.
Yep.
He's an Appy and he's so downhill. Had 4 rides, not pushing him.
Yeah.
That's good because we didn't.
Good.
We didn't push Peanut either. Like we had to give her. We had to give her lots of time off.
Yep.
We did.
So you see where we are, Jennifer. Send us your pictures.
Yes, and if we don't get through them all tonight, we'll do it again tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep. It'd be really fun.
It might have to go for like a week. We have a ton of them.
It'd be a weekly thing for us. Be part of our night chats. Send us your pictures. So here, if we draw our line across Peanut, then we end up like super pretty hip, right?
Yeah,
like
she's
this
really
round hip. You see what we were looking for. Whoops. I've certainly shown you guys my style of back end that I'm looking for, right? Set to yourself. Oh, it's too far. I can trace. I promise.
I don't think so.
There we go. So right through there like that. Oops, right under here
Here.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Like that. So you got this good angle right here. Good set to your hocks. But the problem that we run into, and the same problem you're going to run into with this one, right? Where you've got, when you drop this down to where it has to be balanced, right? When you start to roll this here, then this is going to be way high.
Yeah, and that's what we ran into with Peanut.
Yep. So then you're actually, what we ran into with Peanut is that we were asking her to lift this area right here, lift her back, and we were like pushing it over the top.
It was bad.
Right? It was like going way up over the top. If you're taking this area, it was like way dropping down this hill. So in order to be balanced and lope around, she had to carry her neck to match that line.
Yeah, and like if you guys watch videos of her now, like she still likes to hold it up a little bit, but just kind of how she's made, like that's where she feels comfortable. That's where she likes to lope around right now.
So you can see where like these lines tried to match up. So she just had to carry her neck up. Otherwise, she would just be falling on her head.
Yeah.
Yep. So tough for her to do.
That's crazy though. I was like, when I saw the horse, I was like, oh my gosh, I might just want you Peanut.
Yep. Yeah, same kind of. Oops, let me take Peanut off there.
There we go.
I don't know if I can get rid of my drawings. No. Yeah. Hold on. We'll go way back. There we go. Too far.
Oh no.
Way too
far. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, trying to get this horse, he's got to catch up here. So this is one that you just turn him out, let him grow up. So if I had a horse like this, I would say, you know what?
I got it over Instagram. Thank you.
I would say kick him out, let him grow up for 6 months. Just not going to be an early bloomer, right? So we talk about like making a lunge line horse or making a 2-year-old futurity horse. We would say it's not going to happen for him.
Yep,
right?
just
And that's
couple of
perfectly fine.
Yep.
Right? Or you could say, you know what? Too bad, so sad. You're going to be a 2-year-old pleasure horse, and you're just going to be riding him that way for the whole next year.
Yeah.
Right.
And like it was hard for us to make that call, but
Mm-hmm.
really now like I look at her and I'm like I'm super happy we did because she looks really good.
Yep. Because
you
you could look at this guy and go, well, this is a 3-year-old and this is a yearling, right? Like he just looks way more mature back here than he does right here.
Yeah, that's the thing we had to do with Peanut too. She was really mature behind, but just not mature up front yet.
Yep.
So we made sure she had. We didn't push her out that hard or anything because
Nope.
like I want them to like their job too. So like Peanut still has her ears forward and she's really happy because I mean we could have shown her as a 2-year-old.
We could have tried. Yeah. You would have had to go like 2-3 rides a day trying to make all this come up and back.
Yeah.
Right. And it's It can't. Gravity's telling it to go that way.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's so cute. I love it.
It's adorable. It'll probably be adorable when it's done.
It will be.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's
All
got
that
that.
snack and ties in.
And it's a lazy loper. It'll be good minded
Yep.
the whole way
Oh,
through.
really
So.
good minded. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Those are all
What
the
else you got?
studs, I think, and all the. Oh, wait, do this one. Do that little gray one.
Oh, this one's super pretty.
Yeah.
We didn't do this one, right?
Uh-uh.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Super
This
pretty.
isn't. I don't really know much studs, so I could be totally wrong. But this looks like an allocate your assets.
Yeah.
Or am I totally wrong? What do you think?
It's hard. Those hunter studs all look a lot alike, right? Damage final level at age 6. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks having to wait.
Yeah.
But I mean, if
We're
he's
in
a
the
nice
waiting
horse,
game together.
yeah, we're all in there together. Yep.
This
We're
is
all in there
yours,
together.
Lynn?
No, she sent one in James
Oh.
Messenger.
Okay.
Yep. So
Who's this? I'm gonna find the owner of this.
look how low this neck ties in, right? If we're talking about how we want to get this neck to be hanging out there flat, right? Look how low this ties in. That's what we're talking about. So this horse can have a real easy time just hooking out there and just hanging his neck. Okay, so really like where this ties in. If you think about where we've looked at this just through this night, right? Over the last 2 hours.
Okay, so we have a video of this horse too.
Oh, perfect.
So
Don't let me watch it. Don't let me watch it.
Okay, I wanna watch it.
Okay, so we've got
Oh,
pretty hip, good loop right here, decent sec to his hocks. Like how strong he is right through here. Really strong over there. Yeah, Sky's Blue Boy. I would believe it. So right through here, really strong. Flat top back, long line underneath. Got that little over in the knee that we talked about. Wouldn't mind seeing that leg come underneath him just a little bit better.
Look like Sky's Blue Boy.
But coming through, good hook to his neck, good flat, good taper. Should be a really nice horse.
Do you guys want to see a trot?
Should be a really nice
I have
horse.
a video of it. I don't know if you guys.
No, just give it to me.
Okay,
Send
two.
it to me and I'll load it up on the stream.
I don't know how you send it over. Allow. Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, Jennifer. Yep, exactly. Gotta make them last, right? They gotta be good long-term show horses.
Okay, let me go to Messenger.
It's on top, right there. Yeah, so this horse should be real easy to hang its neck down. Like you're gonna spend the majority of your time picking this horse's neck back up, right? Because it's gonna be so natural for it to just come under here and just be in there. You're gonna spend the majority of your time picking this neck back up.
Okay, I sent it to you. You should have it.
Cool.
He's okay, so cool. Oh, we were all wrong. Shoot.
Truly priceless and righteous invitation. Yeah,
Oh,
so
it's beautiful.
see where he wants to carry his neck? Like wants to carry it way down. Like that's gonna be his natural position right there.
Pretty long trotter.
Real pretty.
Super floaty.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You guys didn't know you'd have all this production, did you?
Jeremy's a little nerd.
Yeah, he's gorgeous. Super pretty. Like right there, look at that. I've never heard of Truly Priceless.
Yeah, I was like, I have no idea who Chip Price is. You should look him up.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, we have a lot to do. We have
if I can
look at all
scrub
these.
this.
We got
There
20
we go.
plus.
That's what he's gonna look like right there as a show horse.
Yeah.
That's
We
impressive.
got 20 plus of them. People want to see those. This is exciting. I'm so happy you guys like this.
Yeah, look at that float, right? So that's what we're talking about. Like the way that he floats across there. Like this. Like spring, hang, float. Like he's got to sit on the ground, stay on the ground here. Push up into the air. Float right there.
He's pretty.
Yeah, so like right there, I think all of his legs are off the ground.
They're all off the
Yeah,
ground.
every leg off the ground. So if you can imagine, right, we're talking about making lift in these horses, right? So starting with a good one makes your job so much easier, right? If you start with a good one, he already has that lift in the
Right.
air. He already like knows how to hold the ground and push and lift up.
Right.
And that just makes it so natural for him.
Yeah, it's really effortless.
So natural for him. Really nice horse.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you
horse.
so much. That's fun.
Really cool. And like you can just, I tell people all the time, like even if you didn't know horses, right? If you knew nothing about horses and someone showed you this, you would go, that looks aesthetically pleasing, right? It looks balanced. It looks symmetrical. Like those are the things that in nature your eye tries to pick up on, right? And you just see that right there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yep.
beautiful.
Just looks easy for him.
It does.
Yep, he looks like he's gonna be a big time.
He's gorgeous.
Very cool.
He's so pretty.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And I'm actually gonna look up. What was his
Truly
name?
priceless.
Truly priceless.
QHA.
He's got only blue sky.
See you gray? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's beautiful.
Truly priceless. Huh.
Wow. He's really pretty.
Wow. Never heard of him.
I'm gonna watch a video. Is there a video of him?
I don't know.
I'd love to see a video of him. See if he trots like him. Or
Nope, that's not it.
No.
Truly priceless at 8 years old. We can watch this together. Here you go, guys.
you were close, Brittany. You were really close. I was way off.
Oh, he's naughty.
Oh.
He's naughty. There's that floaty trot, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Gets it from his dad.
Yeah, he's really pretty. Is there a video of him loping? Oh, he's good.
Slow-legged.
Yeah. I love how frisky they get.
Yeah.
Really pretty.
I love the way he trots, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love a pretty trotter. Oh, it's so cool. So much technology. I know.
I got a lot going on, right?
He does.
You won't find this anywhere else. We're on a different level with our stream here.
Go hex off that one real quick. I think we got all those on there. I think we covered all those on that page. How is this one?
Broodmare, let's see. Off center, hard to tell.
Do the one right there.
This one?
Yep.
The broodmare?
Yep. Let's see who this one is. I'll look up the person real quick.
Alright. Load this one up.
I'm trying to find who the people are. Sent them over.
Yeah, so Brittany, we talked about that a little bit in the last stream. Like, it's so much higher quality to float your way through a trot, right? But to go out there and say, like, if you can reach and float and hang in the air, it's such a higher degree of difficulty than if you're just like staying flat and shuffling, or even if you're going fast and covering a lot of ground. To have that body control as you're trotting, that's what I want to see, right? I think that's just a higher degree of difficulty. All right. Broodmare, I believe.
Yeah, I want to see.
Not sure. But so real pretty hip, right? Really pretty hip coming across here. Good set. A little bit posty. I can't really tell. Looks a little post. No, maybe not. Looks okay. Good angle back here. Good round hip. That's what I like to see. So this is, again, a nice back end, right? Coming through, right through there. That's what we want to see. Oh, Fiona was a gorgeous trotter.
Yeah.
Gorgeous trotter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gorgeous.
Nice short back. Straight lines are important. Short back, long over the bottom, right? That's what we want to see. I like this horse.
So cute.
I like this horse a lot.
Yeah, I love
real
how,
pretty
it's
neck,
hit.
right?
Yeah, really pretty neck.
So, and this is important, right? So this is, if you were just like cruising horses around, right? And you said, okay, I saw this one today, and I saw this one today. You can't look, like, and we tell people all the time, like, we go places and look at horses and like, well, my horse is dirty, so I don't want to show it to you, right? But we look and we go,
That's not a broodmare.
oh, Chip, okay, well, it's just fuzzy, right? So just saying, like, it's out in the pasture, it looks like a broodmare, right? It's a pink
You better
lead.
tell him you're sorry.
Chip's got a pink
Tell
halter,
Chip
doesn't he?
you're sorry.
Chip has got a pink
Tell
halter.
Chip you're sorry. You hurt his feelings. First of all, you call him a girl and he's pregnant.
Chip is gender confused because he has a pink halter, pink lead rope.
Every girl wants. I have a pink halter for all of our geldings.
I guess that's true. But okay, so this is important, right? Because if we were to just, like, if we were to say, he's fuzzy and he's kind of like, he's been out in the pasture all winter long, right? And you were to compare it to one like this that's slicked out and banded, like this is a ready for a photo shoot horse, but we've got one in the pasture. You can't overlook this horse.
No,
right?
not at all.
Because this horse is put together pretty nice.
Yeah, really nice.
Right? If you're going well, you know, we got a good slope to our shoulder. We got a good set to our neck. It ties in really low.
See, Jeremy, you just want to understand.
Got a
It's
lot of-
because girls own them.
Got a lot of girls owning geldings, right? So then coming around through here, this horse is made nice, right? Don't let looks fool you.
No, this horse is really nice.
Okay? Because we're a little higher in our wither than our hip, right? Look at that angle. Like that's almost
Yeah.
perfectly 45 degrees from his wither to his foot.
Right.
Right? So you're just efficient.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about, right?
Really nice horse.
Deep here, kind of thick here, but he does have this little belly. Right?
Oh, your hay belly.
Little hay belly there. So when this horse gets fit up, I mean, that's gonna be a nice horse.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really nice horse.
Right? So, if anything, like we could say, kind of similar to Bonnie's mare, right? Where that leg just sits just a touch ahead of our wither.
Yep.
Right? Wouldn't mind seeing that leg just be backed up right under there.
Yep.
Right? So if we could just take his leg and put it back just a little bit,
Yeah, just a little bit.
right?
Yep.
He'd probably have an easier time holding this leg on the ground underneath it.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? It would be harder to get this horse like to come back underneath of you.
Yep.
Right? But as far as like build goes, he's a nice horse.
Yeah.
Right?
He seems so quiet.
Got that? Yeah, he looks like just
Aw,
the
I love
this
them.
right here, just the quietest
See,
little
I
happy
always
dude
say
in
I want a mare, but like after seeing him, I'm like, oh, I want a gelding.
the world. Yep.
Oh, he's adorable.
Really nice horse.
Yeah, super nice horse. I love his back end.
Deceiving though, right? Like, don't think just because your horse is dirty and fuzzy, you
Yeah.
can still tell, right?
Yeah.
This is exactly what Peanut looked like when we picked her out. Right? She's out in the pasture, fuzzy and filthy.
Yeah, because the horse before I picked her out was all like his
Yeah.
banded, shed out, and I'm like, oh, it's beautiful. And she was
Mm-hmm.
like, no, I want that one.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's funny.
Who else we got?
Wait, this one, yeah.
We do this one? We didn't do this
Oh
one.
wait, no. Accept click. Go up. No, no, no. Over. No.
Oh, look at that. Oh, it's really loud.
Yeah, I'll show you. Right there. Perfect. This one.
Okay, kind of hard because it's like off center.
That's okay.
All right, we'll work through it.
Yep.
Okay, let's get rid of these other ones. Okay, so what do we got? We have got a
Look at
pretty back end, right?
Yeah.
So right there, pretty back end. I do like this little roll to him right here. He kind of drops off or slopes off really nice, right? Super chill,
Aw.
just turned 6. Yeah, he looks like it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
nice.
Maybe a little tubey through the middle.
Yep.
A little long through there. But probably the biggest weakness of this horse is going to be right there.
What's that?
If you look at like how his neck comes up right here, you got this little muscle right there, right? Kind of a bulgy muscle up there. I want to see that's the muscle that we're talking about all the time when those horses get their heads picked up. So he's actually going to be like when you lope around, everybody can see this, right? Yeah. When you lope around, my guess is he's going to fold up right here, right? And then want to come up right there.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So he's going to try to balance off his ears. He's going to balance off this piece right here.
Okay.
Okay? We want him to balance off this piece right here. Okay? So just looking at the way that this horse is muscled, how this muscle is thick right here and that tapers off down through here, this area.
Yep.
We don't have much muscle right here. So it's going to be a lot harder for this horse to be balancing back here. Because remember, we're going to be sitting on his back right there.
Right.
Right? So we got to shift this point of balance from here to there.
To there. Yep.
Right?
For sure.
How are we going to do that? Let me get rid of my artist work here. How are we going to do that? Remember, we got to get this horse that way.
Right. Yep.
Right? So, and he wants to come this way.
Right.
Do you
Yep.
see that? So it's not going to be like he doesn't necessarily need to like he's got to bring everything back.
Right.
Right?
Bring it back.
But
Yep.
the challenge is you've got to bring this back. Right? And that's going to be backing those shoulders up and moving them over and getting everything rocked up and back.
Yep.
Right? Because you can see even in this setup, he's got these hinds.
How do you get him to shift that?
Yeah. So you've got to get these hinds underneath of him more.
Okay.
Right? And like even here, like that hind is kind of out behind him. Right? If you look here, it's kind of like that. His front legs are,
So if you were riding him, let's say you were
Yep.
like riding him, how would you fix this?
we're here with his front legs and we're there with his back legs. Do
Okay,
you see
so
that?
what would you do riding?
So you've got to get this the other way, right? Like you got to get this to, I'm too close. We got to get this horse shifted so he's thinking more like this,
Right, I understand that.
right? So it's going to be bringing him back, but the challenge you're going to run into is when you go to back him up, he's going to back up with this.
Okay.
So he's going to pick his neck up and back high-headed,
Okay.
all right? So you're going to have to let him get high-headed and avoid him hiding his chin, because this muscle right here tells me that he's going to bring his chin in here really easy.
Okay.
Right.
So a lot of like backing and turning.
Backing and turning, but you got to let him get his nose out.
So kind of what were you doing with Dubs? Because Dubs
Yeah,
likes to hide
and
his
Charlie.
chin in Charlie. Yeah.
Dubs and Charlie
So on
both.
the videos
Yep.
that we've been doing, the two big paint horses like to hide their chins like this, and
Yep.
they have big muscles right here. So when you like go to like back them up, they hide their chin instead of giving them your shoulders.
Yep.
So same thing with this one.
Yep. Because if his neck is thin, right? He's got a short or a thin little neck and a really thin throat latch. So you got to watch ones like these that they get folded up right here, and he's going to hide his nose from you.
Okay.
Right? His nose is going to come into this area really easy. Well, that's not good if you don't have this first.
Right.
Right? If you think about, hey Nancy. So if you think
Yeah.
about, we want to get him here first. Right? He's got to drop in before you get his chin back.
Right.
So when you go to back him up, that's what we talked about, the difference between backing and backing well, right? I'm not looking to bring this back.
Right.
And that's what he's going to try to do first. Because he's going to bend right here.
Right.
Which is going to do this.
Right.
And then you're going to back him from there. And see how, like, if you're watching my hand, right? If my horse is like this, and he does this and folds his chin and then backs up. Do you see how he's still flat?
Yep.
Right? You're going to have to get him to back up with his chin out first, so you back this up. I'm not LBU.
I know,
Right? So if you come right here, let him get his neck up, let him get his nose out, so that you're talking to this right here. Hey Jojo.
Hey Jojo.
So you're talking to this right here.
Right.
Okay? Get those shoulders backed up. And then once you have all this back underneath of him and shift his weight back onto his butt, then you can drop this down.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
Then you could drop all this under because you have all of this up and back.
Right.
Right? Like up
Yep.
that way.
It's a cute
So
horse.
this is under. Really cute horse. But that's where you really want to watch your horses, that you don't get this bulge right there.
Right.
Because that's going to be folding his chin up.
Yep.
Whoops. I got a little excited. Folding his chin up right there. It makes it hard.
Yep.
Yep.
For sure. Both my horses, Palmy and Gelding, I see in the black mirror does the same or ducks from the bit when lowering like in the back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, that's what you run into, right? Like they're gonna duck away from the bit, and like you'll end up backing. So like his top line will be, top line will be really straight like this, and your chin will be back. But like we saw with the showmanship, right? You can back a chin up and not move your shoulders.
Right. For sure. Yep.
Right? So that's why we always tell people all the time, keep this line as straight as possible so that when you back up, you're there.
I'll say, is this Tex?
Oh yeah.
I would say I look super familiar.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so that would make a lot of sense, right? So knowing this horse, yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's Tex.
it's Tex. Yeah, I'll look. One second.
Yeah. So knowing that horse, right, what do we have? We have a horse that folds up right there. So I think we would be spot on with that one. Yep. And look at your horses at home, guys. If you have this right here, they're most likely going to fold their chin in and back to you. And then he just hides somewhere in this area, and you can't talk to these shoulders and back these shoulders up.
This is another little pic of Tex.
Yeah.
He's a little goofball. He's so cute. Yeah, that
Yep.
is Tex. Yep.
Okay.
Super, super pretty.
Yeah, really pretty horse. But just watch that area right there, because that's what happens. And that's one of the first things I go and I look at clinics and stuff, look at horses. Where's the muscle, right? If we have muscle here, then we're getting too much chin. And then everything can just plow through that chin. And we end up having a car accident right in this area, right? Because you've made your wall in his chin, which can be folded back. When you're riding, you'll be holding him back, right? But all this can still be plowing forward into that, and then you end up having a car crash right there.
Yep.
Right in that area.
Yep.
right? So you can imagine it all just kind of piles up behind that, right?
Yep.
So we want our horse to pile up in the middle, okay? I want the wall to be right here,
Right.
okay? And we can see on this horse, the wall is right there.
Right.
Do that one more time. Want the wall and my horses to be right here.
Right.
So when I close my hands, it's his shoulders that come back to me.
Not his chin.
Okay. And then where the wall is on this horse is right there.
Right.
So when we car crash, when all this wants to plow forward, right, my horses are going to crash here.
Right.
And this is going to pile up right here. Here's where the accident happens. Okay. But if this is not your wall right here, like that, that car crash happens up here to his face, which leaves you right in this area.
Right. Yep.
Does that make
For
sense
sure.
to you guys? And I see that all the time.
Yeah.
That's trying to hold your chin back for speed control.
Right.
Hold your shoulders back, right? You'll have much better results.
Yep.
Okay. Very
Thank you
good.
so much.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
And if
we
you
want.
guys want to clip that, or I'll clip it and send it to her, so she can see it. But super pretty horse.
Yeah, super, super pretty.
How you horse change that? So that's gonna be backing, right? Backing this up, right? And it's where'd that clip go? It was on Instagram, wasn't it?
What clip?
Our Instagram clip.
Alright, I'll pull it up.
I'll get it.
You got it?
Yep.
Was it the quick tip that
Yep.
we did?
No. It's gonna be the DM that we got.
Oh, right there. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
right here.
Okay, so we're talking this right here, guys. Like coming here. Oops. She's doing the right thing by letting this horse have his nose out, right? Doing the right thing by letting him have his nose out. He's gonna try to duck his nose under right here. The only thing that she didn't get is she didn't get the release in there.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
But this look right here, that's what I want. Look at those shoulders right there.
Yeah.
The reason he's not backing is because these feet are firmly planted.
They are firmly
right there,
planted.
right? If he moved his shoulders back when she made a wall and she brought her hands back, you would never end up with this look.
Yep.
Right here. Right? That is not backing well.
Right.
Right? So what we would want this back leg to sit under here. We'd want these front feet to stay up and down. We'd want a back that looks like this. Right? Yeah, I think we do, Bonnie. I think we do have a Patreon video of it.
Yeah, we have a lot of videos on the backing thing because we
Yep.
see this a lot.
Yep. So this right here is what your horse needs to look like. This is where your hole exists, right? Let him have his chin out. So when you close your hands, you talk to these front legs right here.
Yep. And then they step back, release, pet,
Yep.
and then ask again.
So where she wanted to get out is when she feels these legs release. So that's going to be coming there. This is where you get out, right? If you'd slide your hands forward, when he brings that shoulder to you, when he releases off that bit, you teach that horse to stay up and back when you bring your hands in,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Now where we go a little bit wrong here is we don't release our hands, so he's going to try tucking his chin.
Right.
He's like, well, you weren't talking about my shoulder. Yeah, Bella, right here. This is the release point. So as soon as those legs go from out here, and he moves one,
Yep.
I'm out.
Yep, release,
out.
and then ask again.
Yep, and then I just ask for the other leg, right? Because this leg's still going to be hanging out there, but I got this shoulder backed off. So I would most likely like offset my hands like this, back him right here, or like this. It's easier for you guys to see. So here, and then I'd release, and then I'd go back the other leg and release, back the other leg and release, back the other leg and release. So I'm kind of back like this,
Yep.
and then I'll make him square,
Yep.
right? But if you just pull straight and square, he's going to lean into you.
Yep.
Okay, so you can offset him just a little bit. Like if your horse locks on you when you pull square, offset a little bit,
Yep.
right? Kind of get him twisted, and then you're gonna back him this way, and then you're gonna back him this way, and back him this
And then
way.
once you have them
back
like
him this
that, you
way.
can probably back them straight.
Yeah, because you should have control of both shoulders
Yep.
then, and then you just put them together to make it a 2-beat gait,
Yep.
right? But you can see like the 2-beat gait that should be happening. See how this horse in this moment? Look at this leg underneath of us, like we were talking about.
Right. Yeah.
Right? That leg is now leaning under us. Our legs that look like this, and now we're here. Right? Remember we said we want our horse to look like this, right?
Right.
We want that. Here's our horse, round and flat like this, right? And we made him do this.
Right.
We made him bring both of those hinds together. So this hind leg is under him. That leg was under him. But see, look at him tuck his chin down.
Yep.
Right? And then she's gonna lose his shoulders. Look at those shoulders slow down.
Yep.
Right there. So the second he folded his chin under, his front feet could stop moving.
Yep.
Right? So the second he folded his chin under, his front feet could quit moving. Right? So that's where you end up. And now he can lock back up.
Yep. Now he's
Right.
just like
Now he's locked back. And like, look, he's fully braced against her, right? So right here, he's got both hind feet like locked down.
Yep.
See where he's pushing this way, right? Against her hands.
Yep.
See that? If you drew a line from her hand down, you see where those legs are like firmly planted?
Yep.
And then his front feet are firmly planted and his nose is firmly planted. So then the release would be now.
Now.
Right?
Release.
So right when that shoulder comes off of you, right? Because then you're going to have that prettier, this leg under, this leg under.
Yeah, let us know how it goes tomorrow, Megan. You can send us another video because I'm assuming we're going to have to go live again tomorrow because we have a ton of horses to get through.
Yep.
So you can send us kind of an update video and we can kind of do an update with it. That's
But
awesome.
so remember, we're talking about this right here, right? And we can see that, we can see that muscle going to form right there.
Right there, yep.
That's where that's going to exist, is right in there.
I
Okay.
can't believe it's 11:30
I know.
already.
Thank you so much for being our little demo, Megan.
Yeah,
See, and that's
thank
like
you.
don't ever be afraid to send videos in, guys, because you'd be shocked how often.
I mean, we see this on our program
how
too
common
sometimes.
your problems are.
Yep.
You're all gonna run into the same problems.
Yep. I mean, we run
Okay.
into it like on Charlie, the video we did, we had it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Is that all the ones we have downloaded for now?
I think that's all. We have a ton to do tomorrow, so thank you everyone who sent them in.
Yes. If we didn't get to your horses,
We will get.
We will
I
get to 'em.
promise you, we'll get to
yes, because this is really fun. We enjoy doing this.
them. Yeah, we have like I think 50 horses.
Does that help? Does that help you guys?
So many. Yeah, that was really fun. So all the ones that we didn't get to tonight, I promise you we'll get to them tomorrow.
Yes.
And maybe we'll start a little earlier tomorrow, so we're not.
But what better way to spend a Friday night
I know,
in
for
quarantine,
real.
right?
Yeah, and you're not doing anything else.
So if you guys enjoyed this, remember, hit that subscribe button on
Yes.
YouTube. Do us a favor, share this with your friends. We're having a good time with this. We're trying to share as much information as we can, teach you guys how to identify a good horse, look at what we're going for, and
Oh, before that chat's over, what do you guys want to see tomorrow on our live video?
oh yeah, what do you guys want tomorrow?
What would you
we'll
guys
probably
like?
we're thinking about going live a little earlier. I think the weather's
In
gonna
the
be a little
morning?
better.
Yep. Because today it's so windy.
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna say 11 or noon Eastern.
You want me to get up at 11?
She's
Just
gonna
kidding.
have to get around.
What would you guys like to see? Would you like to see like showmanship,
Yep.
Western riding, pleasure, rib control?
Yes, Amy. So all of these videos throughout this quarantine deal, I'm leaving them up on Facebook for a little while so you guys can share them with your friends.
Yep.
So you can do us a favor by tagging your friends or sharing on your pages or sharing in private messages. I don't care which. And then from Facebook, they're going on to YouTube with corrected audio. So this one should have good audio. But the ones that we're doing outside, the audio is really bad.
Utah?
I'm jealous. I love Utah. Salt Lake City.
Yes.
Beautiful.
If I could move anywhere, like if I had to move today, it'd be in Salt Lake City.
Yeah. So then the corrected audio ones that are outside and super windy, we can correct it in our video editing stuff.
That's right. Aw.
And we put them up on YouTube. And they will be on YouTube for a while. All right? For a little while through this quarantine deal. And then they're all going to be on our Patreon page.
Yep.
Okay? So they will disappear off Facebook and YouTube eventually. And they'll be on our Patreon page for Patreon exclusive. Okay?
Pleasure driving.
Pleasure driving.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
I don't know any of that.
Oh boy. Ribbon shoulder control for movement, young green horse, patterns, anything. Shoulder control tomorrow. Okay. Any showmanship you can throw out is great. Going higher scoring per element. Okay. Groundwork. All right. Transitions, Western riding.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy. We might have to do a poll.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be awesome.
I think I want to do.
We were also like, oh, what do people want to see? Because, like,
I think the Charlie horse is going to be really good for them because he's new to my program, so he makes a lot of mistakes, and he's going to be more similar to where your guys' horses
trail
are.
work. We can do trail work.
Trail. If I can get outside. If I can't get outside, I'm not doing much trail.
Yep.
Because it's too hard to set the logs and stuff inside.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do a poll. We'll have to make.
Yeah, we'll do a trail lesson. I don't have any horses that do trail, so it would be like beginner trail.
Yeah, I'd be a beginner. But I feel like as long as your horse is balanced and
Yes.
moves correctly and you can count strides,
Yes.
then there's no reason why you couldn't get.
So remember, like, all of the stuff that we're doing is not pleasure specific, right? All of the things that we're talking about, like this horse could do hunter if he would roll up and like come this way with everything and then drive everything under, right? Like he absolutely could roll up and send his legs through. So it's not pleasure specific. It's every event. It's just using an athletic horse.
Yep.
We were talking earlier about like the same things that you'd look for in a pleasure horse as far as getting around is jumping, right?
We could always do one on how we could set up a pattern and how like I could just be out there and you could show them how
Yeah.
goat roping. Okay.
Goat roping.
Let's do that. That'd be so much
Exactly.
fun.
So that's something we touched on a little bit today in the showmanship video where we talked about like it's not the horse's job to know the pattern.
Yeah.
So I haven't talked to you guys about that yet, but we teach the horse how to be handy, and then we teach our riders how to do patterns.
Yeah, like he usually sets up cones and then like
You're gonna run the pattern.
if you
down
remember, if you go on our
foot.
Patreon page, way back when me and Sam Heimstra, who logged on today,
Yeah.
which was so much fun to see her, but
Yeah.
we did showmanship, like we broke down the pattern, just me and her running it. So we could do that with the horsemanship or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because that's really good to see.
Yep.
That's really good to see.
Yep. That'd be really good.
That'd be awesome. So we do something like that tomorrow too, or trail.
Awesome.
Aw,
The next
that's
generation.
So awesome.
The next
Love it.
generation. 6-year-old daughter's watching with me. Yeah. So Charlie Cole's Facebook horse show would go over the patterns. That'd be really fun too.
Oh, yeah,
And
really
then
fun.
not Charlie's show, but the other one, the virtual all breed horse show.
Yep.
I'm gonna be judging for you guys.
Yeah, you guys should send your videos.
So you just send your videos in because I'm gonna do it a little different than they've been doing it, and I hope they play along with me. But I would love to put a compilation of all the videos together and talk over them like this, and
Yeah.
give the people that submit their videos feedback like this.
Yeah, that'd be really awesome.
That'd be really fun, and like talk over it and do the lines and stuff. I think that'd be really fun. We could do it live. We could judge the class live.
That'd be so much fun.
That'd be really fun. And then you can get an idea of like what's going through my head as I watch the class.
Yeah, that'd be a blast.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
So I think that's in a few weeks. I'll be able to do that. I'll be judging. I think the pleasure day, pleasure horsemanship.
you couldn't
halter.
get the showmanship, right?
couldn't get showmanship. I
I
tried.
know that. He was like heartbroken about it. I was
Yep.
like,
Let me look.
I think it's pleasure.
His pleasure,
saddle.
pleasure, horsemanship, halter, some other stuff. Let me look.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. And then we have our merchandise coming on April 20 or 25.
Somewhere around
Yeah,
there.
I'm really excited. It's taking forever. I'm like, ugh. Yeah, I'm super
Okay,
excited.
I'll be judging the halter, lunge line, horsemanship, pleasure, and the other fun class. So
The
you
fun
guys,
class.
you guys know what I'm looking for in the halter, right? You
Can-
guys have seen that now.
Can I submit a video?
I don't see why not.
I should do it with you guys. We could all do it together.
Maybe not. Maybe people be like, you know, I'm gonna be
What
harder.
if he-
You know, I'm gonna be harder on you than anybody else.
I'm at Peanut. We're gonna be like, run it.
See, and that's the other advantage, right? Like, politics. No. I'm gonna be harder on you because I know you can do better. So this is a great breakdown for you guys in seeing what I'm looking for in halter.
Is that
Right?
the show APHA is hosting?
This is the one that Nicole McCulley's hosting. I'm actually gonna share the link for you guys.
Yeah, we'll share it for you guys.
If I can find it.
You're so welcome, Lynn. Thank you for tuning in.
You are welcome.
I know.
I know. That's the only problem is like, the all breed virtual horse show. I think is the one.
Yeah, this one.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, like it's a little
Dinosaurs.
dinosaur.
All right, so I will share this.
Yeah, share that one in the chat. So you're not doing showmanship? Just
No
halter-
showmanship. No.
Halter fun class.
Halter,
pleasure.
pleasure, horsemanship, and lunge line, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Be fun to like the horses that we saw the confirmation, and then you guys send a video, and we get to see how they move. That's
Yeah.
what we should do next. We should do like breaking down confirmation, and then how they move, and like how we can help them. Like people send them videos of their horses,
Yeah.
like 10-second clips.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, if you guys do
really fun.
both. I'm actually going to share this in the La Rose Show Horses training discussion. So if you guys aren't in that,
We'll add you. We'll approve
add
you.
you.
We will approve. We had a couple people got approved today for it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I shared it in there, I think. Yeah. All right. Awesome.
Perfect.
Cool. Well, this is really fun, guys.
Yeah,
thank you so
thank
much
you,
for being
guys.
here. If you like this stuff, be sure to share it. Hit the subscribe button. Follow us.
Well, you could do in the round pen or lunge line, or you could just be riding if you want to ride them.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you could do like 10-second clips, like jogging, and then right lead and left lead.
Mhm.
And then after we're done with like the confirmation, because we're gonna need another like night discussion, so it'd be really fun
Right.
if we did like the videos of and then
Yeah.
broke those down.
Yeah, well, we saw how much having the video of that horse backing helped, right?
Yeah, that helped
Helped
a ton.
everyone.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that'd be a blast. So once we get through all the pictures and stuff, then we'll do another little poll and you guys can
Yeah.
send it all in, which
Yeah.
should be really fun.
Don't worry, we're gonna be around a lot.
Yeah.
We're gonna be around a lot. We're gonna help you guys get through this because we miss all you guys too.
I know. It was
So we
really
can all
fun.
socially distance together.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you, guys.
We love having you here. I will comment on this live video and I'll share the link.
Yeah, we'll share. And then if you
Yeah,
can't find the
then
group,
you
we'll
guys
put
can
that
be
in
in
there
the
too.
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. Good deal. Take
Thank
care,
you.
guys. Have a
Love
great
you.
night. And if we'll see you tomorrow. So
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
we'll post on Instagram what time.
Yeah, either 11 or noon.
Most
or
likely.
who knows, maybe 1. I don't know. We'll figure
Mason
it
gets
out
out
tomorrow. We'll figure it out tomorrow. You're so welcome. Thank you
You're
for
very
being
welcome.
here.
This is fun, guys. All right. Take care. Good